We have gone live. Success. Everyone seems to be in the correct frames and boxes. This looks good. Everyone looks amazing. So that's awesome. And I can hear myself talking through my phone, so I'm just going to turn that off. Anyway, so what's up? We're Pulp Diction. We're back with more Two-Headed Serpent. We're going to continue our adventure into Borneo. But before we do that, let's get a quick recap of the current perilous and dangerous situation our adventurers have found themselves in.
Yay! I get to do this one. So we surprisingly we were in Borneo. The source of the creatures that was unclear, definitely from the mountain, these giant spiders and the things that we were attacking previous to last section. But in trying to sort out the chaos of the people, we got a chance to see a little bit of an incursion onto the tents where Quentin was trying to get more samples and cure from the sandwich-sized chunks of people, and in the process noticed a hatted figure wandering around. We managed to get to the hatted figure and attack them before they did completely set off anything with Quentin, but in the process of Kelly stomping, I have the greatest notes for this.
I
Kelly.
imagine doing this with no context, and I love every second of it.
That makes me very happy. It was yeah,
All right.
please.
We are on Borneo. It is both being besieged by weird sort of dreamland creatures. That's a cat.
And cats.
Sorry. Thank you. Also, our representative from Caduceus working to build a cure to the ailment besieging these people, happening inside of this tent city before we are evacuating the islands. There is a artifact that we brought with us that is also in the tent that this hatted figure was attempting to gain access to, the box of stars. In the process of securing our friend and the box and the viral analyzer, which uses sandwich-sized pieces of victims in order to synthesize its cure.
Not wrong.
We managed to attack it. We had a really excellent bit of spellcasting from Professor Oliver that changed the gravity around the box in order to zoom it around. That was some really choice moves last time. The fake Quentin, because this hatted figure became able to shapeshift itself, bubbled as we were attacking it, and Kelly just put a boot to its face, which was lovely and appropriate. It spoke to us in the call. We were able to find another one of those glass tablets after attacking it, and a little blinking dot materialized into a hooded figure that answered and was very amused by Cecil. The someone has to correct the trajectory of this world was one of the phrases from our iPad human on the other, not human, on the other side, and that the island was a failed experiment anyway, so it doesn't matter if it all goes down in flame. Cecil managed to charm the figure a little bit, and if you abandon your case, Davenport, you will flourish.
No.
The island shakes again, and we made a decision to go underground into the colder and the quiet towards the center of the island. And we were given coordinates from a button on the tablet. And we know now to call the figure on the tablet Rose. Yes. Okay, so we head underground, and what the very polite creatures that we had only barely glimpsed before, when the yellow eyes had popped up and said sorry, we now encounter a whole bunch of them. They had some conversation going back and forth, and there was crunching noises, and then when we actually happened upon them, they turned out were eating a whole bunch of the bodies of people that had died from the plague, which was less than delightful. The professor taking the lead again, calling out and keeping calm, including when he was extended a human hand to shake that was not attached to a human any longer. We know that the one that actually spoke to us called himself Grug, and they ended up helping us to the coordinates on the island with like further down the tunnel. They described walking through a bunch of standing rainbow water in order to get to this underground in Borneo, and that they were like leaving a terrifying experience in the dreamland before coming here. Hi, cat again. I lost a bunch of sanity at that point. So we... Sorry, I'm reading. They help us to clear out some ghouls from what is underneath and worked through the different tunnels. There was rumbling that was still happening, or not ghouls, excuse me, night gaunts. They were ghouls. And they help us get rid of those. When we get to a cave at the edge of a cliff, there's a corridor and then a hexagon-shaped surface and lights all around. At the center, there's all sorts of this like future tech that we cannot perceive of. And there's a hexagonal pedestal that has panels on it, screens lining the wall. Some of them are lit up. There's various colors going on. There's some sort of like seismograph indicating what's going on in the ground, and a like pulsing sensation that we can all feel around. All of the writing is in Nakal. Oh, and excuse me, the hexagonal pedestal is rotating and emanating power. There is writing in a map that looks like the world, but some like form of past continental drift, and a pin somewhere around the like UK, Ireland, Greenland area. And it's clear that this is gate technology. It's a crude attempt to build a gate, and it's very unstable. The room is shaking, and the central pedestal turns transparent. We can see part of the dreamlands through it, and it's clear that there's blight and destruction. And Cecil feels someone that says, "Come home." At which point Cecil says we need to close the portal, and that is about where we ended.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
No, solid recap.
I remember something about the
little rambling, but yeah.
Yeah. I only remember jokes, but the Gunderground was very important.
Yes.
Yes, excuse me.
As Quentin brought every gun you have in this entire expedition with him to the Underground.
That's all I got, though.
No, solid recap. Also, while that was happening, we got a new follower. So, what's up, Commander Solo? How's it going? Thanks for the follow. So, that's basically it, right? We've had this adventure in Borneo for a couple of days now. The island's been slowly losing its
mind,
integrity, both, right? But physically and metaphysically, right? That weird dream influence is slowly spreading across the island. The earthquakes are definitely not helping and causing problematic shifts in the landscape. And I just want to draw attention to a couple things that are happening just around and adjacent to what you're doing, but you aren't directly involved in. So back on the western coast of Borneo, where you landed by the British military base enforcing this quarantine for what they believe is some type of rapid viral hepatitis, you've determined it is not that at all. It is something way worse and potentially engineered by the Inner Night, because it has that kind of technology to it, and Professor Inverness found a stopper in a well, which seems to be the origin source of this disease, right? But on the way in, you had a pilot with you, Spencer Brooks, who, despite very bad circumstances of being attacked by night gaunts while flying, managed to get the plane safely to the ground with minimal damage. To the crew, at least. The plane itself was in bad condition. He has been working diligently to try to get this plane fixed so that you can be airborne again as soon as possible. So he has been working with the other military personnel to grab whatever supplies they can to get this thing up and running enough to function, right? The British military headed up by good old Captain Lancaster said that they would not let you outside the quarantine zone until you could actually certify it was good to go, since you are the medical representatives from Caduceus who will give that yes or no. And they have to believe you, of course, as well. So that is important. But outside of that, yeah, you found yourself in this bizarre situation where there's so many problems in so little time, as you have this box of stars that was damaged in the crash and is slowly ticking and making noises and could potentially erupt into a massive fire portal, which you saw a small glimpse of once before in Cecil's apartment. This would be much more catastrophic and much less controlled. So time is of the essence. As you reach this lab, right? This, oh, there you go. And you see this gate, and you look at this technology. It's becoming clear that this is most likely the source of all the problems on the island, right? As you are looking through this gate, as these two panels revolve around each other, right, and that energy in the center, it's kind of like rapidly just zaps about, you can see glimpses, like I said, to the other side of just like blighted, destroyed areas of like forest and potential dreamland. Dreamland foliage, if you will. The ground shakes on that side as you are looking through the portal, right? And what you see is something erupt out of the earth. And, you know, it's the 1930s, right? The Empire State Building was built about a decade ago, right? Early 1922, I believe. This is the largest building in the world. It's one of the biggest structures that mankind has ever, damn it, erected, right? Oh no. It's been happening with our caption box.
It's okay. I'm the one that's going to hit phrasing there, but it's fine.
There we are. We had a caption box, and I realized it wasn't on the overlay, and now it is. Thank you. As this thing erupts from the ground and continues just to jump up and up and up, almost like a dolphin coming out of the water, but much bigger and much more terrified, you would put it on the same type of size scale as something along the size of the Empire State Building in terms of both like width and height. Just this absurd monstrosity that you can only classify as some sort of like shark worm combination, leaping literally out of the ground and just causing a rash of destruction as it just crests in this leap and then slams back down, disappearing. And when it hits back into the ground, the quakes are in time with this monstrosity. The whole island of Borneo shakes. Powerfully, right? To the point where you kind of almost lose your balance. A couple things fall off the wall. Like some of the computers short out a bit. Screens flicker, then come back on as you look around. And yeah, do me a favor and make a sanity check on that, please.
Of course.
For the just absurd monstrosity that you are witnessing. Currently through this portal, which is great.
My sanity is the lowest it's been at any point so far, also. Okay, that's a
failure.
regular success. Regular success.
Let's see. Quentin is okay. Grug.
Good.
It's not okay. Wow, that's okay. I had this bad. You said failure?
I'm good.
Me, I failed.
Okay.
I am a failure.
No.
Oh no.
I'm strangely good with it.
I do like our like mostly blasé party of just like that's probably bad.
Okay.
We'll get to that eventually. If you passed,
We just lack the imagination.
Yeah, you know. There's got to be some of those on Earth somewhere. We just haven't seen them before. It's fine.
If you pass, you take a D4 of sanity damage.
If we pass.
Yeah. Feel free.
Yikes.
You may roll that yourself. Kelly, since you failed, it's gonna be a little rough. Because this
Can't
is
wait.
a roll for
Oh my god.
No
Well,
piece of
rough.
crap. Okay.
I'm talking to my friend.
I think I hear a
Oh,
Theo.
hello! I was like, who, is there a small child talking? That makes sense. So,
Yeah.
hello, Theo. Would you also like to make a sanity check?
Yes, our friends are all here.
Hey.
So, hi.
What's that?
It's a show. We're doing a show.
So, for failure was a D20, so I'm gonna roll it real quick.
Ooh.
A D20? You're gonna kill me.
Oh, no.
I don't like Night Andy.
Okay, I'm gonna play.
Wait, D20?
I'll play a game.
Our
with you.
DM is much more
Wait,
vicious than
what?
I
I'm gonna play an absolutely absurd game with you.
know.
Okay.
So, and this is just, I don't know.
Mama
Uh,
Murphy's gonna be really mad if you
Love
make
the
me
closed
insane.
captioning. Playing him same game with you became now stream. I like it.
Okay.
Do I
rolled
get to know what's happening to me, or
Things just got real Saw movie up in here. I'm not sure.
I rolled.
Would- Same game? Hmm.
I rolled twice.
I
Right.
was gonna say you
Okay.
did just mention that you went through Squid Game. That's why.
Yes. I rolled twice. One roll is rough. The other one is not so rough. Would you like to pick number 1 or number 2 for which one you take?
in order of what you just told me? All right. Since we're playing a game, I'm gonna roll high or low.
Okay. You can also just choose.
Well, it's a 1, so we're gonna go with 1. I feel like that's a pretty clear call. Don't! No, it's the wrong one. I picked 2. Ah!
It's
boy.
unfortunately take 20 sanity damage.
I'm insane. What happened to me?
Are you out of sanity?
No.
Okay.
I just
Oh.
dropped 20 points though
I mean,
in one go.
I was.
Which is more than the
Sandworms are real bad.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
I
Okay.
really Brooklyn.
We're off to an interesting start. Well, I got to roll on the temporary insane chart, but you get insane talent too, so that's neat. Wolf.
Oh, do I get to check this box of temporary insane?
You do.
Yes.
Sick.
So, everyone else, just out of curiosity, while I'm kind of doing some admin, what's going through your heads when you see this thing? Because it's still scary AF, right? What are you thinking?
Professor?
I'm both fascinated by the concept of the portal, or is it a screen? I might be thinking it's sort of like the tablet with the communication screen on it, but then my mind would drift more to portal because of the box of stars and what I'd seen with that in the past.
This is like an actual portal. You can see like magic
Yeah.
kind of flowing together to create a almost crystal ball made of light.
I'm sort
As
of
you're
trying
looking
to
into this
peruse the Nakal carvings or etchings around the room to like get some understanding of how this thing works, because like I've only ever opened one of these by accident before, and that was a disaster. This on purpose seems like a much bigger disaster, apocalyptic, one might say.
Okay, into it. Ooh.
Cecil, did I just hear the lad with the lamp, or did I see him?
You heard him.
I heard him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cecil, like in a voice like wavering, says like, close the door, close the portal, and after seeing that thing kind of come up and slam down, he only registers it when it actually hits the dream ground and affects our world, and it, like that making the connection between the two kind of brings him out of um whatever mind time traveling he just did. And he's just like, we, we must we need to close it quick,
Okay.
or and he looks at the box of stars and looks at the portal and like looks around to see if anybody else is making the same connection.
Right. Does Cecil want to yeet the box of stars into the pool? Is that what's going on right now?
Yes.
I like where you're at. Ash, do me a favor, roll a d10, please.
Oh, Rash.
I think Wendy's doing the like, this is like a miracle in that like whales can do this in the idea that it can happen in land is like okay, like maybe those exist in a place that I've never seen it before, but like then what do they eat? And like we've already taken some, like, hits of sanity over what something eats right now, so like sick to the stomach is pretty quick after. But the box of stars is a ticking time bomb, and if we're going to close this, then throwing that thing in feels both like maybe it doesn't become our problem immediately, but it certainly makes it somebody else's big old problem.
Cool.
Like, what consequences is that going to have
So
later?
as everyone is trying to process this and come up with their different plans, Quentin
like a
just
lamp.
kind of falls silent. The ghouls, Greg and his companions all just turn and run. Right? They're like, nope, not happening, and they just book it back down the tunnels where they came from. Kelly, it's interesting because in this moment you should be very scared, right? There should be a lot going through your mind right now, but in fact the exact opposite has occurred, where the potential consequences or draws or motivations or like people, your family back in New York, or like the people from Caduceus that are counting on you, all those just kind of like fade away into the background, and you're left almost with just like a blank slate of like, no, I got this problem in front of me and literally nothing else. Even I can't even think of another thing right now, where you basically have some sort of temporary mind blank of trying to correlate outside problems to this. Right. On the flip side, you also gain a cool Pulp talent called Insane Constitution.
Ooh.
What's that?
Well, while you're insane right now, and anytime you go insane in the future or drive yourself insane willingly, because you can, you basically feel no pain. If you get attacked, you can make a con roll and half that damage if you succeed. If you fail, you are KO'd immediately.
This feels extra dangerous on Killy.
So, but if you succeed, half damage forever.
Wait, forever?
As long as you continue to succeed.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, wait a minute, that seems broken as hell.
Yeah. So, those are the two things that kind of just hit Kelly at once. As everyone's kind of looking at this situation, that was a rough roll.
Yeah, it was.
How about that? Um,
Kelly's spacing out. You guys are all participating in conversation and talking to each other, and Kelly's just not there.
Well, I mean, Cecil is like muttering things. Wendy might be talking about how it looks like a land whale, and Professor is
just like, got my little pocket magnifying glass out trying to all opposite.
Yep.
So I'm not sure that anybody's really conversing just now.
Go ahead and roll science or electronic repair, Oliver.
Sure. Electronic repair. Nope. Not gonna work.
Nothing. Okay. It's all fascinating. It would take you much longer to.
Either of those, so, and it wouldn't work if I'd rolled in a call either. So that.
Gotcha. It's all very fascinating stuff. It would take you a lot longer than you have to really break it down and like get more answers.
Yeah.
You can absolutely make notes to study for later, right?
Cool. This place is definitely going to be here in an hour. That will be useful.
The technology is still useful.
Yeah, some of that you can pick up and take it.
Fair.
In this moment, as everyone kind of stops, pauses, looks at this thing, there is. I guess let me ask this: What do you all do next? This portal is whirling. Like you can see the island is shaking and starting to kind of fall apart from the seismic activity. There are issues in this outpost or in this control room where the dreaming is starting to like spill out and like affect the area around you now.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're gonna like take a big old like step back and like do the whole like don't want to step in it kind of a dance. If we were to close it, like, is it clear? Like is like there's something that like could be like either destroyed or like messed with on the edges of this that would be a clear close the portal, or is it a like we don't really know how to do that?
So you could probably figure it out as you're looking around. There's a bunch of like screens and consoles. There's one with a giant like basically lever that looks like a pull on off, right? The issue and something to consider is for those of you for pretty much everyone who's magically in tune, the amount of energy built up right now is absolutely absurd. So throwing this thing off may close it. It also may cause instability because all the things that are basically stabilizing this will shut down and the magic may not dissipate. So
what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is Oliver's grab Kelly, and Oliver's going to take off his own belt, lash it around his right wrist, and hand the belt to Kelly. And then ever so gingerly, they're going to walk, sort of, one leading the other, up to the surface of the portal, and Oliver's going to like test it with the back of his hand, see what it feels like. And if it doesn't cause pain, he's going to hold his breath and step through.
Holy.
Hell yeah.
Is
all
he
right.
walking through that motion right now?
I mean, if you guys want to stop me, sure.
Cecil like watches quizzically as he takes off his belt and like starts attaching it, and then like when you start walking up, I'm assuming there's stairs to like a dais.
Yeah, there's basically like a 2-3 step stairs to a platform dais area where this is centrally located.
Okay.
Cecil grabs both of them and simply starts shaking his head like, you can't go in there, you don't understand. We saw what's on the other side, but you don't understand what's on the other side. If you get sucked in there, what happens?
That's what the belt's for.
Cecil picks up like a random piece of debris and like tosses it through the portal.
There's a weird like energy disturbance as you throw it to the air, like the kind of like ripples, almost like there's a thermal reaction, but no heat comes off of it, and then it just lands on the other side. I would like. This is important. Cecil, please roll dodge.
Nope.
Okay.
That thing's coming back.
It was a gentle underhand toss. I should have been very descriptive, but
Oh.
Cecil had a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but
oh, he did. Anyway, here's my question to you.
Yes.
Do you want to burn luck or push your luck?
Yeah, let's push our luck. I have a high luck right now.
So, cool. That is a reroll on whatever your dodge is.
Okay.
So, with the... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I got an 8. So I think I succeeded?
Yep.
Did you... Yes.
Okay. You get close to the portal. You
It's
toss,
player and player character reaction right now.
you toss this little piece of debris. It lands without a problem. Your fingertips just slightly break the like reality and portal barrier. It doesn't. It kind of tingles a little bit. It feels weird. There's a flash of like blackish blue energy as what amounts to a like shadow hand just slams up against the portal and barely misses grabbing your arm.
Oh god.
And then as soon as you back away, it
Yeah, Cecil unceremoniously like falls down the steps and onto his ass.
Yeah, Wendy's gonna like rush forward to catch him before he like cracks his head, but yeah, like okay, that maybe no, maybe like.
Stop.
I'm gonna put the belt buckle back into your hand, like have fun with that.
Huh.
Stop playing games.
Oh, is that what I hear?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything on the other side?
There's still a little bit of that shadowy bluish black energy.
Cecil just is like, there's something else on the other side, and I think it wants me.
Clearly.
And it will take any of you. It's a seductive force. It's a shadowy force, and it's ancient. And I found it in my travels. And that is partially why I am able to do the things that I am able to do that you've seen. But if it gets a hold of me, heaven help us.
It didn't for me. That's interesting.
The
Clearly.
voice
At a distance.
the voice speaks to all of you.
Ugh.
You can see this like weird just shadow on the outskirts of the portal and just says, I feel that this is a moment where we can help one another. I would like to parlay with you. In fact, so much so that I will give you a moment to think it over. And as you see this large, basically sandworm, right, dive up into the air again, it just freezes. Some falling debris inside the control room, as the ground is shaking, just suspends midair.
Okay, so did the worm talk to you in your like that? Okay, so the thing that wants to talk to us is stopping the.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I say no. And like Wendy's gonna go over to the big like lever and be like,
Wait,
Allow
wait,
me
wait, wait,
to
wait,
clarify.
wait,
turn it
wait.
off.
No, no, not that one. That one. Hold that thought, please.
The voice says again, allow me to put a few things front and center. That thing and the little like.
If we keep letting it talk, I want to keep letting it talk. Let me hit the lever.
Bills, messing with things we don't understand is our job.
Uh,
Let's listen to the demon and see what it has to say, please. It worked fine with the ghouls.
Yeah.
We don't have to say yes.
This one's polite. I want to help. I've wanted to help since the beginning.
That's what they all say.
This thing, and he outlines the large sandworm, will rip into your world and will cause immeasurable damage. I can help stop that. I also feel that I owe Cecil an apology.
Well, that's rich.
Better late than never, eh, Cecil?
You have no idea what this thing is capable of and how it's ruined my life and countless others. Likely over the centuries, if not millennia.
My methods may have been unconventional, but I helped you reach your true potential.
How much of this sounds familiar to Wendy from like the stuff that her mom would have said? Like if we're talking about someone that's like bargaining for, like this is
It's definitely
like I wouldn't
shady.
have heard the voice, but like the circumstance of it is gonna sound familiar, right?
It definitely. Go ahead and roll psychology.
No shit. Why did you give me? Okay. It's better than it used to be. It's 14 now. Nope.
Okay.
That's a fail.
Definitely shady, right? How similar it is, hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't experience it, so yeah, okay.
All
right.
But you know, if you want to try to, of course, take on the situation on your own, by all means. But I would regret losing you. He gestures towards Cecil.
The worm gestures towards Cecil.
No, the weird shadow. The worm is just frozen in the background.
All right. I mean, that would have been kind of awful, but kind of cool.
After all, it took quite some time for us to reconnect. But I'll let you talk with your friends.
Yes, give us some time, please.
Of course.
And
you
Cecil.
See a hourglass materialize, flip over, and like dark sand with like crystal, almost diamond-like reflection starts to just pour out.
Cecil, before we say anything, is it safe to assume that, thanks to your connection to this entity, we be deliberating entirely in private?
That is a very good question. Can you hear us over there?
No, there's no response.
I can smell that fecker. I can feel him smiling on the other side. So I would say no.
Kelly, are you just like out right now? Like, how's the okay?
Yeah. If you would like to make another sanity check to like bring your brain back to the present and actually like rewire, feel free. There's no cost if you fail. It's just a matter of how long you're.
I'm about
just
to
out
say,
of
what
it.
happens if I fail again?
Dude,
My number is much lower now. Okay.
do we
How did that
do we
happen?
notice that he's out of it?
Kelly's
Yeah, I'm
just
out of
been
it.
like.
Kelly was a human
time.
anchor and then handed a belt back. That's what we got so far.
Yeah, not a lot
No
going on
words.
there.
No.
Did you succeed?
No.
No,
No.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, Kelly's still just not quite himself in this moment.
Oh, isn't there a thing where we can like, come on, you guy, and like slap him and then like bring him to and give him sanity back?
It's Pulp.
Yes, Ashley.
That belt could be put to better use.
I have mesmerism. I just feel like that's going to eat up the very little time that we have.
Yes, you can do it. I'll say this, Kelly, you can definitely interact. It's just an issue of you're interacting with what is happening here, and like the idea, like basically all your like family, motivation, friends, all that stuff in the background is just like not connecting right now. So like, yeah, you can go fight a thing because you're not going to disappoint your ma because your ma doesn't exist in your mind right now.
I'd say no. It probably isn't private. Doctor.
Good. So, I mean, okay, Eldritch being incredibly powerful, or at least as far as the scales we can tip are concerned, seems to have the ability to manipulate time locally, or our perception of it anyway. Useful, but quasi-demonic entity from another plane, and those are always tricky to deal with. Let's probably err on the side of caution. I think nobody would be offended to hear that. Other options?
Cut off everything. Turn all of the power off.
I don't know if you can feel it, but there's so much potential built up here. It's like standing on top of. Who knows where it goes once it gets triggered?
Unfortunately, I do agree. It might come out. It might spill out our way. If it spilled out both ways, perhaps it would minimize some damage. But I don't think that we would exist. There might be a way in here to tone it down. I can't imagine. I mean, valves and switches. There's safeguards and like even steam tunnels. This is likely not a very good analogy, though.
Well, steam tunnels actually might be more accurate than we did just come up through a tunnel system.
Oh, I don't. I look at the hourglass.
It's about halfway empty.
820 does that.
Quentin speaks up and says, I think you're on something. We could potentially route everything in terms of excess energy through the various tunnels and try to blast it out in a safe direction. I feel like that would the calculations, and he starts like kind of like scribbling in a notebook. He's like, I don't. It's possible. We would need more time or a lot of luck, but I think we got it's better than nothing.
Would it set off a volcano, though?
No, not in this area. There are no active volcanoes in this part of Borneo.
I mean, okay.
We did begin to think it, though, because of welfare. I would say it's better.
I just wouldn't set it off if it meant that all of the people at the bottom were.
Well, a volcano is at least a catastrophe we have some experience dealing with.
That's the real concern. If we mess up, we're going to bring the entire mountain down on everybody at the bottom. So we can't do that.
Question. What do we do with the box? I mean, my thought was, assuming that he's not being watched, but also understanding that he probably is, he kind of like behind his hand, like not facing that side of the portal, basically like kind of like does a little play of like taking like a star and then like taking the stars in a box, and then a little window and pushing it through the window. And he's like, making pancakes is what I'm basically saying.
I think
It's an approach.
if we can contain the energy, I think it'll work.
Sure.
But would
Happy
both of those two things
to,
tend to work?
happy to try.
That's not going to give this thing extra oomph, is it?
He like looks at like
They
one
have-
of the, he looks at like one of the screens. It's just like raining matrix letters in the call, and he's just like, I hope not. I
What can we do?
hold on.
now?
It starts like clicking some buttons, trying to like you can hear like panels adjusting, and like you push the button, like you hear a ventilation shaft come on. You push the button, you hear like hissing maraca music come on. He's just like, all right, my call is not as good as I think it is, but I think we got something.
Every time he makes something happen, Wendy's gonna like twitch a little bit and be like, "Do you know what you're doing?"
I do not, but I'm trying to redirect the energy vents.
By pushing random buttons,
I can read some of this.
Quentin.
So, but he's
Yeah.
trying to find some sort of pattern that will like redirect all this stuff to a safe place.
By pushing random buttons.
So, Cecil, any danger in hearing what?
Say that one more time.
Any danger in hearing what it is the creature wants from?
There's no danger. However, there is always danger.
Well, okay, but let's
Danger
hear.
is seductive, and many of the things he proposes will sound quite reasonable, and the things he offers are quite nice. And the Cecil kind of like looks longingly at the door.
As you say, the things that he offers are quite nice. On one of the control panels off to the side, there's like a bit of a wave and flourish as 5 small objects appear next to the hourglass. And the voice says, well, we don't have all day to debate, so call this a gesture of goodwill. Take them or leave them, your choice. And then we'll proceed from there. But we'll watch your time. And each one of you is drawn to a object that has appeared, right? And that, you just kind of know like it's for you, right? Cecil, there's like a small, elegantly backed silver mirror that's laying on this platform, which feels a little backhanded when you look at it, right? Oliver, you're drawn to what looks like a chain collar, right? It's just a gold and silver linked chain, but it looks like it'd be for a pet maybe, right? But you could also like extend it out and wear it as a necklace if you wanted to. Wendy, there's a very, very about yay large, right, necklace that has a shield carefully engraved on it, right? And Kelly, they're a pair of very nice leather gloves with a star overlaid with an hourglass inside of it on each one of the backs of the hands. And the last thing that appears is a pair of very ornate looking spectacles that Quentin starts looking at. The hourglass is about 25% full or empty at this point. Now, 75% empty, 25% full.
So these are the things that you're offering to us to also help us with our current situation.
can almost feel a shrug. Like, what can I say? I like to inspire those who I like to think of myself as someone who's here to help.
And what exactly would you be doing with the creature over there, the stuff over here? What do you get in return? We haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, well, that's simple. I get to watch you fulfill your destiny.
He like shakes and starts like shifting backwards a little bit.
My entire goal is to simply help you achieve the greatness that you are, well, born to.
I don't see what you get out of it.
Pride.
He turns to his friends and he's like, "This thing nearly killed me, helping me gain my own success."
Is my destiny
Not
secretly
dead,
going to kill the world? Like,
Sorry?
I said, is my destiny secretly going to destroy like how I'm supposed to, like, if by letting us, like, does that mean that I'm going to do a bad thing?
No, child. He like looks at the portal. Is like he 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 wants to help. I'm assuming it was directed at me. If he wants to help you fulfill your destiny, you will go to great heights. But you can do that already on your own. But you would burn out quickly.
Yeah.
Oliver, I didn't catch what you were saying. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. You know how I theorize about these sort of things. I mean, why does it damn? Why does anything do what it does? These are all, we're all responding to forces in nature, whether we understand them or not. I see no difference, to the fellow on the other side of the door here.
Kelly, what are your thoughts? Murphy?
I don't really know. Do look like nice gloves though.
Don't you dare touch him. We haven't concluded anything yet, sir.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying they look nice.
They're gifts. You can take them without agreeing.
Yeah, Oliver's going to walk over and pick it up.
Cool.
Cecil grabs the sides of his head and says, "You lunatic! What have you done?"
Love it.
You may have noticed that we have a sort of immediate problem here. We can sort of long-term problems that haven't done you any visible harm over the decades that I've known you. If we live that long.
Cecil goes over to he first off he gives Quentin a nudge if he's being entranced by spectacles and says, "Let's get to work, man. Show me what I need to do."
You see him blink and he just goes back to clacking on the keyboard, and he's like,
"How can I help? How can I help?"
Here, try and describe those runes to me, or in the best way you can, and I'll try and input them in. Roll intelligence.
Okay. Umbrella with a pyramid at the bottom of it.
Okay, got it. The hourglass reaches the end, right, and just snaps and vanishes away. Kelly, when that happens, you actually feel more clear-headed. As you're your ability to really process rushes back, right? Oliver, you're holding this chain. You feel there is an absurd amount of magic in this thing. You feel like if you were to just sit and almost like just examine or meditate with this thing, it would almost tell you what it could do, right? Like it wants to be used and it wants to help. But other than that, like, you pick it up and everything's fine. The room shakes. The worm on the other side of the portal comes crashing down as time restarts, basically. As your brief reprieve is ended, right? The items are still there. Quentin clacking away. Cecil, what did you roll in your intelligence check?
Right. Oh, not bad. That is a great success.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you start helping Quentin with this. You're actually watching a pattern on the screen of like these different checkpoints that are being manipulated to like vent out energy in different ways, starting to line up and like go from red to green as you're seeing like an energy pathway of these exhaust pipes like start to be cleared and be properly sequenced.
Good work, man. Good work. You don't need a pair of spectacles for that. Come on. He looks at the others like, keep your distance from the surface, please.
Yeah, no, like Wendy's still standing next to that lever. Like, I'm absolutely ready to hit the off button whenever. Don't like any of this.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna let me add one more factor, and then we're gonna talk about how we're gonna resolve this, right? The box of stars, right, which has been just kind of ticking along as the scenario has progressed, begins to make a high-pitched whirring noise, and the temperature in the room goes up about 20 degrees.
Yikes.
Almost instantly, to the point where like it kind of burns as like just the flash heat of this is bad, and you feel it just continuously starting to heat up as the like energy lines of energy between these stars start to connect across the box, right? So if I understand the plan correctly, this is me talking.
Sure.
You want to take the box of stars, yeet it through the portal, and then make sure like all this stuff is properly vented so that it explodes, and not kill everyone on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want this side to be okay. Dreams are
Such a-
dreams.
Just the plan exists.
And the lad on the other side is a problem now.
Cool.
And maybe it'll kill it.
All right. What I'm
Also,
gonna do-
anybody else imagining Will right now with like a salty hot desert wind like rippling through like across his shoulders with this
Just-
look and the moment like yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
Oliver got this in Bolivia.
I mean,
Yes. It's good to have souvenirs. Here's what I'm gonna do. How we're gonna resolve this, right? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of unknowns in this scenario, but people are gonna do like, the smartest thing they can think of, right? They're trying to interact with the technology. So what I'm gonna ask from you is everyone's going to make a check. Quentin already made one and was successful. Okay. Thanks to Cecil's help.
okay.
So, I'm
An
gonna ask
intelligence? Or
The check I'm asking for is the best way you think your character is going to help the situation, right? So I'm gonna you make
Fine.
the call on what stat you're using, and then tell me like, hey, in this scenario, in this room, as like all these things are starting to come together and get weird. What do you do? And it can be very, very technical, like I get my hands on this thing, or it can be esoteric AF, and you're like, I start using my magical skills to like create the 1.21 gigawatts to do whatever, right? Or anywhere in between. So this is kind of a fast and loose Calvin ball because there's so many weird magical things in this scenario right now that we can play stupid and it'll be fun. But so Quentin's like just slamming away on this keyboard, like the call matrix runes just going up and down, lighting up occasionally, and you can see these these channels starting to line up, and he's like, "If we're gonna do something, we gotta do it now." Like it's suddenly just pouring sweat down his face. It's like the temperature just rises up, because remember it's Borneo, so it's now like 120 degrees in this room. You know, so it's like, oh shit! Like, everyone's just starting to get soaked with sweat. There's more rumbling coming as this worm on the other side is like basically dolphining its way closer to the portal itself. It's getting larger, which shouldn't be possible because holy shit, that thing's big, right? And as it's moving closer, you can just feel like the floor start to crack and like the actual metal of the structure start to bend, and you can hear like rocks falling. You also hear the faint sound of what sounds like an engine outside. Anyway,
okay.
what do you do?
Plan is
Okay.
to push the thing into the thing, right?
Yeah.
Don't get touched though.
Yeah.
By you know who.
I would like to do the pushing very hard.
Okay. Go ahead. I assume you're rolling strength then?
Yes.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Before you do that, I have an idea.
Okay. You
Let's-
also wanted to touch the portal. What's the plan?
Bold action.
So what I want to do, let's you and I have a sidebar in chat for a second, and then we can decide if you want to do it.
Oh, you want to do some crazy stuff? Hey, if you want, we can take a quick break,
Sure.
and I can literally walk away. I'm good. Yeah.
Is that I would like another drink or something while the rest of us come up with the crazy crap?
Tell you what, let's. I'm good for shenanigans, and I like to be surprised. So let's take a 5-minute break, and then I will see myself out. So if you want to plan some nonsense behind me, I'm good with it. So we'll be right back, and we'll go from there. All right, we are back live.
Oh man.
Getting back into our shenanigans. So the players had some time to plan. I walked away, so I don't know what's about to happen. I will say that here's the metric I'm using for the success failure rolls, right? If that matters. And that is basically, there are 5 of you, I'm counting Quentin. Every time you do these rolls, if you have a majority success, then you have made the scenario better. If you have a majority failure, then I will introduce additional complications based on all the random things that are happening right now. With the cool side benefit that Oliver currently has, which is if you pick up one of those crazy items, you will get advantage on whatever you're rolling. So, roll twice, take best thing, and that's going to stick for this scenario, or for the pass-fail game, right? So the scene is set. Murphy, you had the first move. Are you still yeeting the box into the portal, or has that changed?
We're going to attempt some shenanery.
I like shenanery. Let's do it. What are you doing?
I guess who's helping me first?
Well, Oliver, who is on mute, is going to tell us, I think, communicate what's going on. But I think I have to help you first.
Yeah.
Okay. Oliver, you're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, Miles, come here quickly. I need your help to decipher. Murphy,
Yeah.
you too. Cecil, look, I'm sorry I picked it up, but maybe you can find out more about what it is he wants while I'm thinking this through. Anyway, come quickly. Come.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So-
Miles, Wendy, what I need is help me figure out which of these isn't active yet. And I'm looking at the box of stars, and there's like the little lines that are glowing between the glyphs, and some that haven't activated yet. And so we're trying to just look at the mechanics of this thing, this puzzle box, you
Yep.
know, and
Okay.
figure out what it is.
Yeah. Give me and like she's gonna start, like, you can see her like tracing between like the gear and the lever and the like on the actual box itself. She's gonna use the mechanical reasoning that she got in order to figure out which of these like isn't currently making a circuit connection, because I think that's what you're asking for, yeah. Also like maybe for some like weak points that could like pop off, etc. So if I don't know if I'm rolling yet, but that's what Wendy is gonna help do.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
All right, cool. All right.
So you roll in mechanical repair. Is that
Yep.
okay?
Ha ha ha. Okay. That is. Oh, okay. Great. It is a great success
Nice.
because, meets it, beats it, right?
Correct.
Yes. Great success.
Okay. Yeah, you start to trace the lines of this box of stars, and you realize that it's very much a magical circuit board that you're looking at, right? As these lines are starting to connect, in the same way that when it was first activated, Oliver basically just bypassed it and pushed go. Uh, this is now like making a full current connection, and is about 50% of the way there. So there are basically the north and eastern side of the box are lit up and starting to and fully online. The southern and western sides are still blank and could be manipulated or changed. Also,
Okay.
just to bear in mind, as you're like kind of near this thing and like messing with it, it is radiating an extreme amount of heat, to the point where like if you are not careful, you will burn yourself when you're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ow.
Oh, cool. Okay, quickly. Yeah.
So
Kelly,
that
I
one.
need strength and I need some finesse here. And Oliver's allowed just camp knife, and where there's two spots that haven't got a connection yet. Wendy, here and here.
Right between that one and that one.
Okay.
And yeah.
So Oliver's gonna stick the knife in, put his hand on it, sort of that, and all right, hit.
Hell yeah.
I'm a hit.
Or whatever, like, put the knife. Okay.
Yeah.
So Wendy's just gonna like take a big ol' and step back.
Don't put your bones in there.
Doing surgery with a hammer. Let's do it.
And so I don't know. I'm ultimately my role is going to be power on this, but it has to come because there's another piece. We're going to reforge the circuit once it's broken.
This is a real dumb plan. I'm so into it. I love it. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Rolling strength.
Roll strength, please, as you are just like breaking part of the circuitry on the box of stars to rewire it.
Meanwhile, I'm going up to the surface of the portal, keeping my distance, and I'm going to start talking directly to the lad and keep his attention, and also try to find out a little bit more information about the items, if they're connected to him, if we're taking them, that's like accepting a thing or whatever. So
gotcha.
I'm burning 3 luck to make it an excellent success.
Ooh, nice move.
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly what you intend to chip out and no more or less is removed. It is as precise as you could be given the
with the knife.
Just with the knife and like the seismic activity and like the heated sauna that you're working in. Like like all the conditions that should make this a serious problem don't matter. You're good.
Right.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, that chunk of the box comes off. As you get close to the portal, one of the things that you can still see in the background, like, is that giant. But I actually should show you a picture of this thing.
Oh yeah, please show us.
Do I have? Oh, did I upload it? Was that smart? I think I did. I'll just show you on the book. There's a better one. It looks like this.
Oh yeah.
But it is
It's worth about 20 cents.
I mean,
like
yeah.
as you stare at it, like it is literally on scale with the size of the Empire State Building. So like
when we say like worm, we also mean like weird Wolverine claw, mechanical worm thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But just the diminutive factor when you're looking at it, like, is very clear. Like that thing is massive, and you are not. So as you can still see that in the background, and in the portal, it's slowed down a little bit, right? Still, but at some point, that thing probably will burst through as it just continues its jump slowly closer to the entrance. But the Shadow has time to talk, and it doesn't mind.
Great. So my thing is going to be using charm or appearance or something to basically hold the attention, get more information, and yeah, just kind of basically keep his focus on me so he doesn't notice what's going on over here.
I think for every degree of success, I will like give you a solid answer to a question. So go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Right. As you were talking back and forth and holding his attention, right?
Right. Okay. So that is a 6.
That's probably an excellent success.
That's a very excellent success.
Okay.
Thankfully, I took charming, so that's what I do. Cecil approaches, and like because it's getting hot, he takes off the top of his beekeeper's kind of like suit, so he can breathe, and communicate and be seen. And he says, "All right, lad. Before we make any concrete choices, we do want a little bit of information. And
of course,
by accepting any of these objects that are here, is that compacting a contract between any of us and you?"
No, they're gifts.
So
they're not obligations. They don't come with strings.
Am I sensing duplicity there, or because I've heard him talk before.
Here's the wacky thing about the lad, right?
Yeah.
He's not
Slimy.
He doesn't necessarily lie, right? And you have enough history to know that like all the weird God, my brain's not framing this correctly. They are gifts. They do not come with strings attached. But the interesting thing about getting power is that it is addictive. So, but no, you don't think there's when he says no, there's no string attached, it's a gift, you believe that.
Great. He still doesn't take anything. It's like, but I mean, where did you come up with these? Are these of your ilk? Is this your power? Are these things connected to you, or did you find them through time? Did you take these from people that truly deserve them?
They're from my personal stash, if you will. Each has a very unique and interesting history, but I doubt we'll have the time to get into that. But suffice to say, they belong to me now.
They belong to you now. So I was curious if you had created them or not. As talented as you are, I must admit it.
I have personalized them.
Understood. And he, I don't want to steal too much time.
Got one more question. So.
One more question?
Yeah.
Do we need to roll again?
No. You got an excellent, so I'm giving you 3. But basically, yeah, you get the idea that, like...
Got it. He says, You're on that side. I know that's your realm. I know that's where you live. Aren't you worried about the destruction that is happening on that side? And if you do have the power to stop it, why don't you? Don't you care about anything else? Don't you care about your own world? And is that hesitation I hear, or don't, from your side?
He smiles, says, your success is my success. When you're still too wrapped up in the physical.
the physical. You didn't answer my question, though. Your home could be irreparably damaged, lad. And like he kind of like cringes. And he's like, I care about that.
He leans in kind of close, like almost to the edge of the portal, and you can almost start to see in the shadow like faint features. He says, "My home has been under siege for quite some time. Well, really, your home as well, right? This will pass, and we will fix this." Don't let
You go.
the inner night or Caduceus reach the Citadel. That's ours for the taking.
The Citadel. And he just kind of like hangs there for a minute. Where's the Citadel? I'll pass this scene on because I feel like there's a lot of things going on.
As it happens,
Caroline.
like the shadow disperses as the worm just jumps and is one like final jump away from like diving out through this portal towards you guys. Right.
Okay. Cecil does grab that, use that moment to grab the mirror.
This is important.
Yeah.
Because I want to remind you, Tyrannish mentioned a place called the Citadel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In another dimension. And talked about how she was trying to get back to it.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, but yeah, with that, like he disperses, you grab the mirror, right?
I'm like, I look to the others. I'm like, y'all heard it. He is connected.
Yeah.
Oliver is going to take his knife, cut the necklace, and put both ends into the terminals that he and Kelly have created in the box of stars.
Oh, you're gonna cut the necklace?
To complete the
Neat.
or
Hey, roll luck.
There might be a way to take the.
Yeah.
There might be a way because there are two edges to it. You might be able to just plug it in.
Yeah, we plug it in. That's fine. Yeah, I just want to make sure I've got two.
I guess. Okay, fine. You just plug it in. Coward.
Wendy, by the way, after like showing where the box went, is gonna like scream at Quentin, let me help. Not with the pushing the buttons, but she's gonna go like behind each of the like turns because all of this vents through like pipes and like the stupid ventilation tubes and that I understand even if I don't get the electronic. Like we're gonna like pick up a thing to start hitting so everything vents the proper way that it's supposed to. And if I see Cecil grab the mirror, I'm gonna grab that.
Okay. Yeah.
And for my roll, it was I rolled at advantage, but I've got a 51 and a 47 on.
Excellent. Those are. I assume those are both successes.
Yeah, they're just regular success. So I
I'll do it.
spectacularly, but I did okay.
That's five successes. So well played. Yeah, you grab the necklace. Cecil grabs the mirror. When Quentin sees all this, he stops, reaches over, grabs the glasses, just throws them on, and just continues typing.
I want the gloves.
Do you grab them? Yeah.
Go get them. Yeah. So you did your brute force thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
He grabbed them all.
Yeah, and to be clear, like Oliver is like immediately putting this thing in, and then it goes right. Like I'm not.
Oh yeah.
anymore. So whatever else I roll, it's out of the picture.
Okay, so you are using this necklace as the conductive piece, and then that you're just like, okay, gone, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this is important. Roll luck on that, please.
Yes. So where's my roller? There it is. Roll. I think that's good. Yeah. Whoo. 33 out of 36. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Wait, your luck is 36.
It holds, and nothing bad happens.
Cecil is gonna. Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, it starts to light up even more. This connection is made. What do you do?
Huck that box.
Cecil says,
Into the portal it
"Be
goes.
ready to close the portal in a moment's notice." Quentin.
Okay. Yeah, Murphy. I assume you're picking the box up and just yeeting it through the portal.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
With
You have these gloves on, so it helps.
Oh, yeah.
It's still hot as hell, but you know what? It's like you got oven mitts on, so you'll be all right. You chuck this thing through the portal. As it breaks through the portal, still active, still lit up, and still just like literally about to explode. The necklace part of that is making this full connection shimmers, and oh, you're so lucky. Yeah. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 formless spawn. Right? One after another just start materializing on the other side of this portal, basically just like falling out of this necklace and growing to full size. As it detonates, right? As I assume you are pulling the you Wendy
Pull
are
the lever,
pulling
Krung.
Yep.
Pull the lever.
Yeah, like she's gonna like look to Quentin, like pull the lever, yeah, pull the lever, and
yes,
like
yes,
have
pull the lever.
hang her entire body weight on it, like grabbing it, like hugging it and just dragging that thing down to the ground.
Like 90 pounds soaking wet, just. Very cool. Yeah, the magical energy in the necklace like disperses. The lever is pulled. The portal just goes and starts to shrink and kind of close. As there is just an absurdly bright detonation on the other side, right? There's a moment where all the energy kind of comes together in the center in this tiny softball-sized form of just magical potential. And Quentin just slams his hand down the keyboard, and basically a enclosure dome just comes down on top of this control panel, and you can see inside what looks like glass, this tiny little ball just explode and just get pushed downward and upward through these vents that this cylinder is connected to, and you feel the entire mountain just shudder. I need everyone to like make I guess it would be
Dexterity.
It'd be dexterity at this point, yeah.
I was gonna say, she says with hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the room like just tilts, as like chunks of it are just destroyed, crack off, like, and fall apart.
Ha. Okay, I got an 82, but my dex is 85, so it's a regular success.
Okay.
Oh.
Let me know if you... Regular. 5. Woo!
Great.
All right.
I got my 6 dice.
There's a balance beam there. He gets up on the balance beam. He grabs it.
10 out of 10. Like
perfect dismount.
Okay. Awesome. None of the following debris kills you. Well, it hurts you anyway. It wouldn't kill you immediately. But as like this room just starts collapsing, the mountain is partially collapsing, even with all this energy vented through it. You can see on the screen like the pattern of energy going up and then out. Some of those channels like they work and then they explode, right? Because they're designed to take portal energy, not portal energy combined with this absurd nuke that you just threw through there. So it's just redirected to a safe place, but is destroying the infrastructure in the process. this mountain is going to come down.
I thought we got it through the portal and it's destroying the Dreamlands.
Oh yeah, like the amount of damage that's going to happen here is minimal to the bottom, right?
Okay.
Where you are in this like hollowed out facility, it's going to start getting problematic, right?
Cool.
As you run for it.
Great.
So this is the very last thing that you'll need to accomplish to get to safety. Where is it?
Convincing the British we're not sick.
Convincing the British we're not sick.
Or tobogganing down the exploding mountain, one or the other.
You get a couple options available to you, right? Because this is Pulp, and we're just fully into shenanigan space at this point. You flee the facility, right? At this point, the night gaunts that were perched out there, even the ones that like maybe circle back for an attack or something, they're gone. The ghouls are gone. You know, all the stuff that was out there as gifts you've grabbed, and you are running, and you hear again that low buzzing noise.
The engine hum?
Yes. It is your Cessna-style airplane that Spencer has managed to get working again, and has done like a once over the island to try to locate you, and just sees like the top of this island just explode with like a beam of light basically out of the mountaintop, and he's just banks hard left, like spirals around it, and is just now flying a kind of survey pattern over top, and is like looking down, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and sees you.
He sees us? I was gonna say, because Wendy's gonna like shoot that fire bracer up in the air.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like let's flare this shit. We're over here.
Boom, boom. Oh shit! And he starts flying closer to you. So, an option is you can attempt to basically, as he cuts low, jump onto this plane and go. Another option is you can attempt to surf or do some crazy nonsense down this mountain, as parts of it are unstable and kind of.
So
falling.
there's a river, because we know like they're the like underground. So like, is there like a waterfall and then water coming down the mountain? Can we like second Indiana Jones movie
You
this?
want to raft it? You can absolutely raft it as well. Yeah, as part of the mountain like just explodes from holding
Kelly
on.
has already plane surfed, but I don't know if the rest of us have. So
yeah.
I don't know. Do we want to try to jump into the airplane, or are you saying surf down the waterfall to safety?
Yeah, that one.
So I'm going to basically paint the scene. You're on a ledge outside this mountain. You're about 3/4 of the way up, right? Spencer's able to take this plane and bank around and come in low enough that you can just leap off this edge of the cliff and like get onto the plane, right? There's also, thanks to the like just explosions and seismic activity, below you is a river, right? That is basically coming out of the mountain that you could just attempt to dive into and go downstream. Either way, like this part of the area is going to collapse. It will not fully destroy anything below you, right? And I understand, like, yeah, okay, momentum and stuff, but at the same time, you did the job to make sure everything was mitigated. So you just have to clear this area because of the immediate magical feedback and explosion. Right?
I mean, I don't want to necessarily split the party. It's just that not everybody's strength is like being fast and like tricky. So the
portly and professorial.
I was gonna say not everybody is gonna catch that plane. So
Cecil is like, would it be more of a strength or a dexterity thing to do?
This will be strength or dex, and you'll have advantage for the remainder of the scene.
Oh, because we have our items, right?
Mm-hmm. Except for
Oliver doesn't.
Cecil puts his hands on Kelly and says, "Is it Kelly? Grab the professor. Do you think you can make the jump?" It's like, Professor, you're going to be manhandled. I'm sorry. Like, Wendy, can you make the jump?
You're just fine. I'm standing right here.
Wendy's like, yeah, maybe. Like, I am decent at this, I guess. Yeah.
Cecil's like, I'm willing to make the jump unless we do the waterfall instead.
I mean, do we have anything to hang on to if we go down on the waterfall? Is I guess the question, because it's probably a good idea not to be in the actual, like, as much as possible in the actual water. Like going down just you is a bad idea, right? So like, what do we hold on to coming down the water?
Faith, hope, dreams. Make sure you break the surface tension of the water before you hit it.
You see Quentin just like pull out a small flask, just drink a little bit. Let's go!
All right.
Those
Quentin, can you make it?
Those
Okay.
of you jumping for the plane, if you miss, I'll catch you. And Oliver chanting in Arabic,
Hell yeah.
drawing power from the weird zaps around.
Plenty of magical energy to
And
have
I'm
with.
not throwing you into the plane, or
Grab Quentin instead.
But I will fight you if you try and move.
okay, no, I'm
Grab
gonna leave it.
Quentin
Professor B.
instead, Murphy.
All right. Who jumps?
I'm jumping.
I'm
Okay,
getting
go ahead and roll.
When is gonna jump?
Jump first to maybe assist people onto the plane afterwards.
Okay.
All right.
And I get advantage, but I have a feeling I won't need it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
That's bold.
Hey,
It's a bold thing to put out into the universe.
Yeah, right.
They were both great successes. So.
Okay.
Woo! All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied. One's an excellent success. It's a 12. I read it as a 22. It's a 12.
Even better. Yeah, Spencer banks like low and then kind of comes up, and then you manage to basically jump onto one of the wings, and you just like lock in. You're good. Quentin
Take my hand.
follows right behind you with a decent success. He stumbles a bit. You just kind of grab him, and I think like the bow tie just whips off, and he's just like, "Arr!" Okay, and grabs the edge of the plane.
right.
And
We
looks
are
really
rolling
nice,
with
real
advantage,
scared.
right?
Yes.
Okay, because the first one was just a regular success. Oh, nope, it's got to be. Oh wait, no, that's a 6, not an. Okay. Yeah, regular success, both of them.
Okay. Yeah, you jump. Again, little sketchy. Like you missed the
I was
front.
gonna say,
the front
I'm
of the
kind of
wing.
imagining this is like flying squirrel, like she's just like belly flopping onto the wing. That's my dice. God damn it. Okay, so cat enter.
You flop, you hit the one part of the wing, and then like your hands slip, and then you manage to
Yep.
like grab the second part like near the back, and then like Kelly grabs you as well, and you're like, okay, I'm good. So, who's next?
Son of a rice cracker.
Go,
Plane
Cecil.
goes around.
All right.
Go.
I'm going.
Wow.
He's running. He's like, I needed a running start. And I make a great success.
Excellent.
And he leaps, and basically like he's like, oh yeah, maybe he was an athlete in his day. I don't know. and as he's like hanging on and like being pulled up, he's like, track and equestrian team. Like nods, like makes his way on.
Yeah,
Nice.
just like casually now into the plane. Like, okay, very nice, Oliver. You're the last
How
one. Plane banks again, kind of like gives you one last run by or flyby as you can like hear behind you the facility just like collapsing, and you can see like the energy and the debris just coming out from what's left over. This is one of those like you're running and it is behind you as a small mount or a small wall of problems.
So here's what happens: is Oliver's chanting in Arabic, and basically like you see a couple of pieces of debris move out in front of him, like to become stairs, as he walks up the sky,
Fuck yeah.
and sort of hops onto the plane with an excellent success.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
To-
that'll do it.
I believe
So-
you. I just can't see it from here. Yeah.
Put a whole bunch of power into his telekinesis spell,
Yep.
and just sort of
and then just run up the stairs, dive into the
put
plane.
it there, and it says something pithy about a first class ticket.
Hell yeah. With that, like you clear this cliff. The rest of the like debris and magical energy just explodes off the top, right? Which, again, not enough to like cause insane amount of damage to everyone else around at the bottom, but just from where you were, that channeled explosion would have probably just thrown you off the mountain and killed you, right?
Mhm.
But it didn't. you succeeded. You get into this plane. There's like an insane amount of turbulence as the rest of this magical energy just explodes out over the island in kind of a shockwave, right? You can see like the trees, kind of bend over like at the bottom, and like as it explodes though, you can also see the weird like multichromatic nonsense that was kind of slowly creeping its way across the vegetation, just blown literally away. And as this like shockwave kind of fades, the island vegetation and other flora and fauna return to normal.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to find the boot.
I also take 5 damage. Does that put me over?
5? That's exactly the number. So you would have to.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Either take a temporary sanity condition, or you can burn luck to reduce the sanity damage, but it'd be 10 luck to negate it.
At this point, yeah, I'll burn it.
Okay. Yeah. So you burn 10 luck, zero sanity damage. You're good to go.
Cool.
And
I just want to be honest about that, since.
No, I appreciate that. At this point, right? 1, 2, 3. Hold on. I'm sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. We're gonna go into kind of an aftermath cutscene mode for this, right? So you get in, you fly away. Spencer is floored. He was like, I did not think you would all make that. You know what? Who am I kidding? You're all professionals. That was incredible. Like high fives, Kelly. Like, oh man, like Vanguard Club never did anything like this. This is so much better. Whew. That's a lot of damage to that mountain. Everyone good? Everyone good? Strap in.
No, land, please, mother dumpling.
Okay. I need to step away for a second. I'm going to say Oliver lapses from the effort.
Oh no.
Honks out in the back of the plane for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost your audio like in the middle there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So what we have is basically over the next couple of hours, right? Spencer has managed to work with the rest of Caduceus team that's been standing by. Now that you have the viral analyzer set, you land. Captain Lancaster comes up and is immediately just taking care of. You have the samples, you have what you need. Over the next few hours, like I said, more personnel from Caduceus come in. They take the samples that you created and they start synthesizing more cure basically, and start moving into the quarantine zone to distribute it, because you actually took the time to get that set up, right?
Now that the like dreamland energy is dissipated, is it like, are people getting like less symptomatic anyway, or?
It does not seem that way. It seems that whatever's happening with the dreamland, whatever's happening with that virus, were not from the same type of source.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Internet. Got it.
Correct. Okay. So after a little bit, one of the reps basically says, "Hey, we have this handled now. We can get food. We can get medication into Borneo, and thank you for everything you've done. We can take it from here. There's transportation waiting to take you home. If you want to stay, you're welcome to, but yeah, you did the hard part. We'll make sure to take care of the rest." All right. Go ahead.
If possible, Cecil tries to go back into, I guess it was the Lancasters, like area, just to see what's hanging over the mantle now that all of the dream flora and fauna has vanished.
Yay! Yeah, Wendy kind of wanted to like take those. Yeah.
And you go back inside. At this point, there's nothing there. It's just completely vanished. So whatever link was allowing that thing to remain is gone.
What do you think of that, lass?
If the dream energy hadn't thinking of coming back and, tripping over a couple of wires.
I would have helped you.
He didn't deserve to be here. Certainly not for that guy.
I don't think it was his choice. I think this does have something to do with the inner night. I think was it you who found the vial that poisoned the well?
Hmm.
Probably created all of this anyway.
Yeah, he still didn't have to be a bastard.
I mean, we can hope. Maybe all of this undid everything, and now it's back to where it needs to be.
Maybe, well, that'll be my suggestion to Caduceus before we. They're gonna need another one first until they for certain they can drink out of this one.
It is a good point. Maybe we let them know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not telling Lancaster. Only Caduceus.
No.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah, they come in with fresh water, fresh food, everything they could possibly need to stabilize.
Yeah, or they're gonna need to basically dig another well source is what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then maybe on the way out, mining company camp, we also strategically unplug some things and then hide the plug somewhere underneath the carpet. Just
spite, pure spite.
Yes.
Mild sabotage.
I'm not destroying anything, Mr. Lord Davenport. I am just making sure that they have to reconsider their actions back in.
And I am not helping you sabotage various electrical things. I'm just making sure that you're staying safe.
Of course. Heck, do me a favor, roll mechanical or electrical repair as you take this team in, kind of show them around, get them situated, and potentially mess with a few things.
Yeah.
Both of us, or just her?
If you want to roll, you're welcome to, but I feel it's primarily Wendy. Right.
I'm just making sure she's safe.
I was gonna say, you're just supervising regular success.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely are going to set this up so that when they go back to work, it's going to be a problem. Right?
Yeah.
They'll probably fix it, but it's going to piss them off for at least a day. I thought it was plugged in. Did you turn it off and on again? What the hell? So, well played. That's not right. Couple things happen as you go to leave, right? Well, let me rephrase that. You leave successfully. Once you hand off the operation to the rest of Caduceus, they have hundreds of people. It's just that they are normal people who are not equipped to deal with any of the madness that you just dealt with. But they are engineers, they're doctors. They can handle the normal, mundane humanitarian stuff, right? And do so thoroughly and professionally. Take all the advice you can give them. As you're traveling back, and you have some time, a little red line travel, right? The different gifts that you picked up will.
Yo,
Hello.
I'm back.
Hello? Perfect timing.
In summary, for a quick snapshot, so basically everything was good in Borneo. The bulk of legitimate Caduceus humanitarian aid showed up with food, water, took the samples from the viral analyzer, and then entered the quarantine zone to take care of the people, build new wells, fix everything in the way that actual humanitarian professionals will, and not Pulp crazy heroes fighting magic nonsense, right? So, but you basically do the handoff with them, give them all the advice that you can, and they're like, hey, you're welcome to stay, but we know that you've been busy, so there's a plane waiting to take you. There's a boat waiting to take you back home. So you're more than welcome to head out. And as you were traveling back, the different items that you picked up present themselves. to you, right? They want to be used. They want to engage with you, right? It's just one of those things. Um, Oliver, do me a favor and I'm going to say roll power.
23 is that a great or an excellent? A 23 is a great success. Okay.
Cool. Very cool. So, one by one, if you want, you have a chance to basically interact with these things and figure out what they do. Does anyone not want to do that?
Cecil will take a second, as if maybe all of us pick out the items all at the same time. I don't know if that would happen. But Cecil says it's like, do be wary. I know that we wished that the connection that Oliver and Wendy made with the object of power that the lad created, we're hoping that probably did some damage to him, being connected and all. But what he said about these items is true. They'll be very helpful, but the more power we gain, the more that we will wish to have. And that is my experience with him. These aren't contracts, but they could lead to worse things. Or as he says, make you the best person you can be.
Mm-hmm. I think
no judgment.
Quentin has been wearing the glasses ever since you jumped off the mountainside, right?
Mm.
And at this point just says, well, I'm one to remain skeptical, but at the same time, you know, I think these were incredibly helpful. I can now read Nicole in other languages without a problem. It's almost like I'm fluent, or they all just make sense. Part of what I think turned the tide was kind of guessing from what I knew and what I thought made sense to putting those on and really making a difference. So if that's the gift, I'm gonna have Shekels look at my stuff, and I'd recommend you have him look at yours as well. But incredibly helpful.
Again, no need to justify, but that is a good point.
What do yours do? I assume they all do something.
Like with Cecil's warning, like if we're all like in the same cabin area or whatever, Wendy's gonna like she's not wearing the necklace. She had it, like she held it, so she's gonna like put it on like whatever coffee table or table whatever is in the middle, so that she's not like actively touching it. She's not wearing it. I don't know what it does. Like I don't. I mean, I felt a little bit luckier or more adept, but I don't know. I don't know what it does. Yeah.
As you,
I under.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and please correct me or put me back on track if I'm incorrect. Cecil, like, he was a bit of a sigh. Like, it's almost like he's ashamed to know, or maybe he simply doesn't like. admitting what he's about to say, but he says, "It's my experience, the gifts that the lad has to give are pretty. The analog is very obvious." So he like points to the shield and
Yeah. So it's probably protective. This might not be a bad idea if we encounter any more flying trucks.
could be true. Murphy, you're awfully silent.
I mean, do I have any sense of what these gloves are?
So as you try to sit with them, and it's almost like they can sense curiosity, right? The second you start to examine them, start to wonder, like, what exactly do you do? It's almost like they just. It's almost intuitive, right? So we'll go with the gloves first, right? As you pick up the gloves, you put them on earlier, right? You notice two things. If anybody has, actually, Oliver, you can make this. Mythos, right? You don't even have to roll this one. On the gloves, on the back of the palm, that star that is there, you recognize that as like a. Some would call it protective. Others would call it vulnerability, like depending on how you properly align it and use it. But it is a sigil that would basically hurt things that are not from this world, if properly applied. Right? It would either turn them, or it could potentially just cause them extreme pain, depending on how it was used. It looks like, since they're on a pair of gloves, they're used for just, well, hurting these eldritch things. And I'll talk in a little bit later in these terms as well. So these gloves have basically an elder sign on the back of them, where once activated, will let you just punch eldritch things and be way more effective than even like guns or other shenanigans, because of the magical aptitude behind them. The hourglass inside of them also, when you start doing like some boxing drills, you can punch faster, right? So mechanically what this does is this. You can burn an MP every turn, right? And you can either ignore armor, or you can take a second punch, right? Basically just get a second free attack. You can burn 2 MP to use both of those things, but there's a potential for magical feedback as you're using those constantly, right? So, but you can use 1 per turn safely without a problem.
What was the first one again?
It was basically punch and ignore armor. Like, the weird eldritch bullshit that makes them more resilient, you can just punch through it. But yeah, you can use both effects at the same time. I will roll to see if that has any feedback. And then you can do that as long as you have MP. So,
Huzzah!
They're very cool.
Anyone who's watching me examine these gloves, well, do I know that? I don't even know if I know what Eldritch is. Do I just...
As the idea is that, like, yeah, your character knows what they can do, right?
Okay.
Maybe not with those words in, like, the mechanical definition, but, like, oh, I can pick up some formless spawns now.
My eyes light up, and I kind of, like, you know, a little like, ooh, feel nice. Like, don't take them off for the rest of the ride.
So your eyes do actually light up. It's very nice, with like a little flash of blue behind them, as you put them on and like fully embrace their purpose.
Oh.
And then the blue fades. So, Wendy, when you examine the necklace, right? Yeah, it's absolutely a shield. There's magic in it. It lets you, there it is, cast a spell that, and I'll also send you the write-ups for this too when we're done. It gives you it costs you 1d4 sanity to manipulate the reality around this thing, right? And what it does is, for every MP, make sure I get this right. For every MP you put into the spell, you get to roll a d6, right? Up to is your max MP, All right. That amount of whatever you roll becomes temporary hit points in the form of like a shield. And you can put that on yourself or other people, but you can only have one active at a time.
Okay.
Right. So if you want to go nuts and slam like 10 MP to it and roll 10d6, and that's a temporary hit point shield. That will just be eaten up before anything else affects you. Right. And then once it's cast, that's it. So if you can't reinforce it. It would just be, if you want to cast it again, it would cost you another d4 plus whatever you slam into it for MP. You can't just be like, oh, I'll put another magic point to get more hit points into it, right?
So it's also not like if I cast it and like blocked something that was gonna hit Kelly, I couldn't be like, oh, now it's on me.
Yeah, it's wherever you put it until you either dismiss it and cast again, or it's broken. But that is a cool shield thing you have. For Cecil.
Yeah, he eventually unwraps. He like probably puts like a nice cravat or something over top of it, and eventually, as everybody else is interacting, like he looks at it almost ashamedly, but he does.
The mirror is disorienting because it does not reflect what is around you. It shows bizarre shapes. It shows weird locations. It is jumbled and confusing. As quickly as you're able to try to lock down what you're looking at, it changes and your brain can't pull it together. If you take an hour, right, and focus on this thing at the expense of 6 MP and a D8 worth of sanity damage, so you gotta be careful with it, you can literally look at a scenario or a person or a thing and explore their future, right? So you use clairvoyance to like see a little bit of stuff, like maybe what's about to happen. This is one of those like, you can look into this mirror and go, how does Kelly die? And look that precisely into the future. Or like, what is the end result of this thing? And like the way things are currently set, see a very detailed response. Is how that comes down, right? Now, this also means that as you get into these visions, you may interact with crazier stuff that could potentially cost you more sanity, depending on what you're looking at. So bear that in mind. But
yeah, Cecil's eyes kind of like go wide, and he looks a little like seasick, and then he like wraps the mirror back up. And just kind of like watches Murphy play with the gloves for a while.
Everyone watching Wendy put on the necklace and Cecil look at this mirror, also see like a faint just flash of blue, and then it goes away. Oliver.
I'm just over here like reading a book. I don't have a thing, so
you have the. I'm going to throw an option to you. You have the strange sensation that if you wanted to, you could potentially pull back your gift. You could also choose to leave it where it is.
Did make a whole bunch of formless spawn. That wasn't great.
See it do that?
You saw them just pop out as you threw it through the portal. It does interesting shit. But I wanted to give, because you, the player, had a very cool idea, but I didn't want to take a cool item from you if you wanted to have a chance to continue to use it. And
no, I'm
this
okay.
is a weird gift.
I'm okay with the choice of not having the, unless for plot reasons you think it's important that I take it.
Nope. It's a choose your own adventure. All right, very cool. So,
yeah, no, I'll stick with the choice to use it as the.
Deus Ex Machina. Yeah.
Stick with the choice to what?
To leave it as leave it exploded.
I'm gonna send you a message. In that case. So, and that means, because that's going to be important.
I mean, if I'm going to have my, Wizard of Oz courage moment or whatever, you want to throw me a couple more points of mythos, that's cool. But,
oh, you like this.
Okay. Either way.
Insanity for everyone.
So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can.
No,
like
that's a big one too. So, very cool. The rest of the trip passes without too much, without too many problems, right? Which is great because yes, go ahead.
I do have a question. Do I feel like our plan worked? Because I think we are also trying to use implements of the lad to hurt him.
So, not knowing what you had designed things, my thought was that it would be a tool that when it registered power coming from us powerful individuals, that some sort of connection would be made. Probably not a terribly strong one, but and then when it hooked into the power of the box, you send a little, taser shock back to just be like, what the hell? Or maybe melt his brain. I don't know.
Or death, maybe. That would be cool.
I'll say this. Of the things that Cecil has seen, it is definitely more effective to try to use things that the lad is tied to cause him damage, strife, right? Killing him, that'd be hopeful, right?
What?
But hey, you definitely know that there is a connection between the things he gifts you and himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably not happy with what just went down.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll communicate as much to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Being like, you did well, Doctor. I think that was an excellent plan. And I'm
sorry
glad
for.
If you're trying to put this in metrics, you probably bought yourself more time before he reaches out again, as he recovers.
I'm sorry for the subterfuge there. See.
Oh, no trouble at all. I mean, we learned.
I feel like I almost gave you a heart attack.
I was quite worried. I know how terrible. He's awful. and great, all at the same time. He's your worst drinking buddy that you could take out.
That's pretty accurate.
But you have such a history together, you can't quite leave him be.
Again, Cecil, that's just you.
Oh no, I understand that. But now you all have his attention. Just letting you know.
I'll do one last piece of admin as that kind of just settles in with everybody. And we're just gonna get to New York. We still got we got plenty of time in this session to do a few more things on the home front. But I want to make sure admin is done because you get some stuff at the end of each scenario, and I want to make sure you get it before we move on. So, as people are resting and recovering on the trip back, right? A couple neat things happen. You get back some sanity. Right?
Oh, thank God.
You're going to get back, let's see, a D4 and a D8 of sanity.
Christmas.
Right?
God.
So, hopefully that's good.
D8.
Yes.
So, I can actually put that in the chat, too.
Okay. Let's see if that actually brings me anywhere back to normal.
That's pretty good. I'm just down net 2 for that whole. Which is much magic was thrown around. I'm going to call a win.
That's a win.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm down 1 actually now because I rolled a 6 total, which is delightful. Thank God.
I'm just hearing y'all got sanity to spare. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, can we like pool extra? Can we pool extra to give to Murphy? Or
Unfortunately, no.
I'll take donations of sanity via Venmo or PayPal.
So, yeah, unfortunately, you cannot share it. Actually, you know what? I take that back, but we don't have that yet.
Does hypnosis help with sanity regaining?
Psychology and a couple other things we can sort of.
Yeah, hypnosis and psychoanalysis will help gain back some sanity. But what's Murphy currently at?
47.
37.
Oh.
You're fine. You're fine.
47. I just.
Oh,
gained
47.
back 10.
You're great. God, you're as sane as a rock.
I'm down right where I was.
Nah, it'll buff out. It'll buff out.
Oh
No,
God.
but there are ways to also get back more sanity through some wild magic, right? Which is part of this as well. Mechanically speaking, also prepping you guys to get more magical abilities if you want to use them and go down that route.
Don't tell the DM that I'm at 54.
So 54, he's so sane. So that's okay. We're starting to get into the bigger sanity issue things. I need to pull up my luck mechanic. That's the other thing. Is you're gonna get back luck, and then you're also gonna be able to level up your abilities, which we can take a 5-minute break after I give you the luck thing, so you can do that real quick, and then we can continue into New York. I'm glad nobody missed the plane. That would have been a really rough roll. I'll give you actually a lot of credit. You guys have been very good at succeeding where you really need to. So, because there are some rolls where it's like, I need you to really save on this, or like you'll fall off a mountain. So, well played is my point. So,
Between just completely hammering for spawn, making clutch roll.
I'm shocked at how efficiently you guys are just murdering formal spawn too. Which is, I mean, it's a def feature, not a bug.
If it's a skill you're gonna have, I feel like it's a good one.
Yeah. So luck recovery. Everyone's gonna roll a d100 against their current luck. If your roll is higher than your current luck score, you add 2d10 plus 10.
Okay, that's unlikely.
If
All right.
it is, I'll put this in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Higher equals 2d10 plus 10. Lower equals 1d10 plus 5.
Okay.
Right. If you meet it, take the better option. So.
Roll 2d10 and got 6.
Yeah. 2d10
Nice.
plus 10 though.
Fair.
So. And with that, you'll have the ability to also roll to level up all your individual skills. Which remember, if you roll and roll below it, sorry, if you roll and roll above it, you can roll a d10 and add it to your score. So you want to fail your skill roll and roll higher than what you currently have, which is why it is easier to level up things that you are not as skilled in.
All right. So here's the real question.
But what we'll do is we'll take another 5-minute break here while we do some bookkeeping, and then we'll reset and be back in New York. So we will be right back. Hello, streaming. We are back again. All right. So, wrapping up a little bit of admin, giving everyone a chance to make sure their stuff is good as we roll into the next series of things, right? And after a couple days of travel, the party is back in New York. You know, you see Statue of Liberty and Manhattan kind of limited in distance, and you just feel pretty good to be home. Although there are moments where there's, I think, a little bit of a twitchy reminder as you see those buildings and think of that monstrosity that you saw. But it's fine. It's gone and will probably never come back to haunt you. Because you solved that problem, right? And you get back, you get unpacked. And one thing of note is that Quentin, after your sit down with the different gifts you received, is relatively quiet on the rest of the trip back, right? He makes some small talk, but he just seems like his mind is kind of elsewhere. Like he's, just lost in thought. Doesn't really say much about it when inquired. He's just like, I'm just trying to process some things. I'm just excited to get back home is all. Right.
Of course.
Now, when you get into the harbor, there's a car waiting for all of you to take you back to Caduceus headquarters, right? The driver, Jeff, that Cecil had met, is like, just waves enthusiastically as he sees you. It's like, oh, hey!
Lad. Oh, hey, lad. Jeff.
What's going on?
Wait. It's good to be home. Can't say I got any suntan. I really should stop bringing any of the bathing suits that I do on these trips. They never seem to get used.
I mean, as long as you had a good time, right?
Yes.
Good to hear.
Quite so.
Good to hear. They told me I was picking up some VIPs. I wasn't aware it was you guys. Like that's awesome. I got plenty of stuff in the back if you want to grab some drinks on the way. It's we'll get you there in style. And proceeds to open this very nice car door so you can jump inside into a very spacious, basically early limo, right? Just a very nice, spacious car with some drinks in the back, and you are whisked away back to Caduceus headquarters.
Gonna be like, oh, tomato juice. That's a new.
So.
Is there champagne back there?
Mm-hmm.
He gives everybody a glass and then just pops a cork and starts pouring liberally to everybody. Well done. Wendy, you don't have to drink if you don't want to. I'm appreciative of all y'all. Yeah. So may you be in heaven long before the devil knows you're dead. So
Here.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. It is nice to be back in the city. As much as I like being out and doing these things, it's good to have a break. It takes a bit of a toll.
Agreed.
If the rest of you don't mind, I've had this kind of thought in my head for a while. I think I need to have a conversation with Dr. Goncalves about some of the choices that were made before we left.
I know you disagreed with sending the box of stars to, but it did end up working a treat to disrupt whatever was on the other side of the port. What would we have done without it? Goncalves did us a favor.
That's certainly one way to look at it, but from the perspective of what would have happened if that wasn't the situation and how that thing would have probably caused a lot of harm, I have concerns. It's nothing that I need to. I can take care of it on my end. I just.
He who dares wins, Quentin. He who dares wins.
I suppose. He kind of refills his little glass of champagne and drinks some. Right.
I'm inclined to agree with you, lad. I don't like the fact that he sent that along with us. Even if he did, and he let us know about it, at least we probably could have better secured it so it didn't get damaged. It was a race against time. Think of all the extra time we could have had in order to, like, just solve more of the problems that we had there.
That's a bunch of what ifs, though. I like the professor's right. Like it ended up working out for us. And it's not like things weren't already going to crud when we got there. So who knows if it actually gave us any less. But it did sort of provide the hourglass to get a move on. I wasn't happy to see it when we found out that we had heard it, but I'm awfully glad that we had it with us now.
I suppose I'll sleep on it before making any rash decisions. Bottom line is, either way, we're gonna have to go in, get our stuff looked at by Shekels, and see what we've missed, and then of course, obviously having a chance to go see your families and take time to relax, right? And the car drops you off. You head inside, right? Shekels is pretty happy to like go through all your stuff, and he quickly identifies the little snake statue that you picked up, the little jade one.
Yeah.
He plays with that for a little bit and realizes, like, hey, this thing is wild because like it basically leaves sensory input on whatever it's around, right? So like if you can imagine, if you're in a room, it's just like, you know what? We got the technology to explain this. It's basically a camera.
It offer what psychic impressions?
Yeah, 100%. So
He
like tosses it to you.
Catches it.
And like it plays back the last hour of you all like having your car trip back, and then coming into the building.
Does it feel like deja vu? Does it feel comfortable?
It's like watching a movie. Like it's like a weird, like, you space out, you can kind of rewind it, fast forward, zoom in on things, and then like when you put it down, it's a little disorienting, but not the worst in like a safe environment, right?
Somebody else try.
Like just the visual, or do you also
get the visual?
Because you said steps.
You get the audio. You basically can. It's basically a hidden camera. You can rewatch things.
Okay, but not like you're like reliving necessarily, just in like messing with time. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if it were like something ludicrously terrifying, you'd have to deal with that. But yeah, it's just a cool, spooky way to watch things. It's like, yeah, I think it's good for about an hour. Then it's got to get some more juice in it. But that's a cool little thing. I like that. So
where did we pick this up again? Oh, no. With all the ghouls, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just be glad that it's been hours since then.
Yeah, it's look, I mean, that's how we end up with half the stuff we get. People find it in crazy places, they put it in the armory, and we're good to go. So like, you're welcome to hang on to that since you found it. But if you want to log it in, like, we keep it for safekeeping too. Sign it out when you need it.
For just not calling it the armory for that one.
Was that significant for some reason?
You really don't want to know.
Fair enough. I really don't. So.
Gross.
Hey, you got anything else you want me to check out? I can work on that for a while.
If you like to, as with most objects of power, most of the ones that we picked up were from something particularly devious.
Neat. Like, puts on a pair of safety of like blue medical gloves.
He offers the mirror. and let them check that out. It's like they're all quite intuitive. In fact, I do believe that they wish to be used rather than neglected.
He picks it up, and you can clearly see this. He looks at it. It shows his own reflection. He, like, turns it over.
How odd.
He, like, looks at the back. Oh, hold on. Pulls out some weird, like, almost sand-like dust. And, like, blows away some of the smoke, you know, because he's a chain smoker, right? And his office is still just full of that haze. He's like, all right. And then proceeds to, like, grab a handful of it and just sprinkle it across the front of this mirror. And then picks it up and dumps the salt into a small box where you see it actually, like, starts to move around by itself, or the sand into this box starts to move around by itself a little bit, and then stops in, like, a little glyph. And he's like, it's just a mirror.
Oh. Well, that is wrong, but you're allowed to your own opinion.
I'm just going with the box says. Box says it's the mirror. It's look, it's possible. It is. There are things that end up like in certain people, bonded, like whatever you want to call it, right? Attuned. There are things that work only for the person it was intended for, right? So if that's the case, if you're like the first one to grab it or what have you, like that might be why it's not doing much for me. I don't see him too often, so if you all have one of these things?
We all do.
I mean, not a mirror.
But you got something that does like stuff for you.
Oliver just sort of holds up like the snake. Like these things? Still can't figure out how to get this thing off.
That's what I appreciate.
If you want it off, I did find a way. It's a little painful because it's not tech we're used to playing with, but we can get that thing off if you really want to.
Hasn't bothered me so far.
All right, fair enough. I mean, it looks cool. It's a good accessory. No misfires or anything like that?
What?
No misfires or anything like that? Because as long as it cooperates, like, you're good to go.
No, it's been fine.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, he proceeds to examine like the shield necklace. He proceeds to examine the gloves if you let him, and that same conclusion. Like it is a necklace. I sense nothing else of this. They're a pair of gloves. They're very nice gloves, but I don't understand. The box says they are gloves.
Mine just got blown up.
So that's a pity. So well,
win some, lose some.
Yeah, I suppose. And he looks at Quentin's glasses and comes to the same conclusion, right?
Quentin, have you taken those glasses off since we left?
Oh man, I take them off when I sleep, you know.
Just be careful about how much you rely on it.
No, that's a good word of warning. And he, like, with a little bit of a sigh, takes the glasses off and like puts them in his coat pocket. And just kind of fidgets throughout the rest of the conversation. But Shekel says, well, I'll keep working on stuff. Sorry, I'll keep working on stuff down here. But I know at some point that Mr. Medham said he wanted to talk with all of you when he got back in. So Quentin, you might want to call Dolores and just let her know that you're back in the building so he can sit down with you. But like, all right, I'll give him a call. You all, feel free to relax, grab whatever refreshments you want. Shouldn't be more than 10-15 minutes. If he wants to see you, it's going to be as soon as we're available, right?
That is good news to hear someone so attentive to their own business.
And Quentin leaves. So, a question to you: is there anything that you want to do while you're in Caduceus? Keeping in mind, like, This is the armory area. The library and conference room is down the hall, right? You have not seen Tyranish, right? And she's not necessarily commonplace in the lower areas of Caduceus anyway, because there are people who just work there at normal desk jobs. This is one of the hallways where if you're going to encounter her, this would probably be a place, but she's not up here, right? But is there anything that you all want to do or check out while you are here? If not, we can just move on to the meeting with Medum. Just want to give you a chance.
Eventually talk to Tyranish, but that's just
okay. Yeah, Quentin comes back down. He says, he's actually ready. Yeah, he's ready to see us right now. And we can just leave whatever, and then let's head upstairs, right? Like fixes his bow tie, fixes his hair. You've had a chance to like freshen up and everything too. Get to the elevator, and that same just massive individual, right, that you've seen before, wearing like a nice suit with this like Corinthian column sized arms, bald head, just like big squinted eyebrows and face, like looks at all of you. And again, like Kelly, you're a big dude. You are dwarfed by this dude. He's massive. And probably easily has like 200 pounds on you. And Quentin just nods and says...
Medum keeps a golem in his elevator?
That's canon. It's Mr. Medum's personal bodyguard, security. He's friendly enough, aren't you, Kenny? You just hear a... And just a hand like gestures you to the elevator.
I want to use psychology on him.
He doesn't talk much, but he's fine. As long as you don't, as long as we're not a threat to the boss, right? Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Is Kenny short for Kenneth?
Oh, canning.
Oh,
canning?
Okay.
Canning, like literally like proceeding to make canned goods and canning things.
Canning.
Yeah, but he's wearing his like nice,
right.
jacket.
She was asking that of him, but I guess that doesn't make sense now, so that's fine. Okay. Yeah.
What do you roll for psychology?
Oh God.
I'm crossing. I misheard. Oh. Being hard of hearing, I was like, I misheard. I'm like, Ganon, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that might not be too bad. Great. Yeah, man, I made it. Great.
Hell yeah.
So, that would be just leveled that up. I'm gonna say that's probably just a regular success.
Cool. Yeah. What are you looking for on this dude? What kind of read are you trying to get?
He is trying. Lord Cecil Davenport is trying to figure out what does he think of us.
So yeah, you all pile into this elevator. It's pretty spacious, right? Even with the size canning is, it's built custom for him. It's like easily like a 10-foot tall clearance. You all go in. It's very nice and ornate. Nice wooden paneling, like golden filigree. Canning pulls out a key from his pocket, puts it into the elevator, turns it, and presses one of the top floor buttons. And then proceeds to just one by one, as like every floor ticks by that you go up, just like stares first at Wendy, then at Kelly, then at Oliver, then at Cecil, then at Quentin, back to Wendy, and just continues this pattern of like rotational staring. It's not even trying to be covert about it, and like the whole time just holding this key and this button, right?
So like Wendy, after he like finishes his stare at me, is gonna like behind somebody into like a different place in the elevator, like just to see if that changes the order that he's doing this.
He like stares through Murphy to stare at where your eyes would be. Continues to stare. Cecil, what you get is what he thinks of you is he's trying to categorize you as basically threat or not threat. And seems like that is his only care in the world. And is continuously assessing if you are a threat or not. And so far has concluded that you're just not, but he is not exactly a friendly individual.
Got it.
And this continues awkwardly for 10 minutes as you take the Evangelion elevator right to the... No, I'm kidding. But it's a very awkward, like, 30, 45 seconds in this elevator as it, like, slowly moves up to the top floor. You know, and it reaches the top. He opens it up for you and walks out ahead of you, taking the keys with him. Opens up to a beautiful, like, gold polish and, like, low lit hallway with, again, that same, like, dark mahogany and like gold finish that looks just ostentatious, right? It shows, like, just subtle, not even subtle, it just shows wealth and power, right? In a very intense way. And it leads into a conference room where there are floor-to-ceiling windows at this beautiful, 10-person table. And from the windows, you can see that you are pretty darn high up, and you can look over, like, the East Bank River over Manhattan, and you have just a beautiful view of the city, right? This is designed to be impressive, and it works, right? You almost feel like you're on top of the world here. Also of note, well, you would know. Hey,
Okay, then.
don't worry about it. It's fine. So it's literally not something you could see from where you are. So it makes no sense. But at the head of this table is Joshua Medham, right? And at the end of this room, there's another smaller area that leads to what looks like his office, like his actual personal area. It's always open. You can kind of see inside of it. You can see he has his own library back there. He has a nice desk. You can see, catch glimpses of a safe in the background, like a large and very, very well reinforced safe. There's also a science lab human skeleton that is, like, next to his desk, just hanging there in the same way that you would see one in, like, a biology class, right? Not sure if it's real or not, but
I mean, at that era, they all were. So, yeah.
yeah, it's certainly not plastic.
Is it obviously on wires?
Yes, like it is very clearly like a display. And there's, like, some writing above it, but it's hard to kind of make out from where you are. Right? You, like, just catch a glimpse into his office.
As long as it doesn't say "mom," we're okay.
Nope, does not say that.
Okay, good.
In the office, in the conference room, there's a nice, there's a very nice liquor cabinet, which is just stocked full of very expensive and nice, very expensive and very old scotches and whiskeys and all sorts of other things. And as you come in, Medham, he looks at all of you sitting at the edge of the table and just says, "Please, have a seat, and you're welcome to anything that I could bring you. We have plenty of drinks here. I can also send Canning to get something else if you'd like. I want to personally express my gratitude for the magnitude of your accomplishment in Borneo. So, think nothing of a request. You've earned it. Please."
Like, tug on Canning's sleeve and be like, "Tea?"
Of course. And Canning just, like, I'm picturing like a oh no, yeah, is it the dad from Cloudy with a
Cloudy
chance
with
of meatballs. Yeah, just the eyebrows. That's all I have in my brain.
Yep.
And just
reuse the same thing in the Maid.
In the what?
They reused that same sprite in the Pixar Mermaid thing that just came out, Luca or whatever.
Yeah. It's not
And just
it's not the same animation company, but it's that same. Yeah. The dad from the little redheaded girl. Yeah.
Just like bald, giant eyebrows, scowl, and then he proceeds to stare at you, give you like the slightest nod of acknowledgement, and then Madam goes, "Of course, tea. And for the rest of you."
I did see some. Oh yes, some whiskey back there, and I'm quite wondering what age that is. I think I see Murphy here nodding as well.
He just nods at Cannon, who grabs one of the bottles out of the liquor cabinet and puts down something that was made around the time of the Civil War. So about 70-some years prior, right?
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah. So
it's like a generation.
So long.
Yeah. So one of the wildest things was I ran. This is like a slight detour in timing, but like I ran something where it was the same-ish time. I think it was like 1925. And one of the people I had there was a veteran from the Spanish-American War who was alive during the Civil War, though. And like the idea of trying to like process the weird timing of like, oh no, my parents experienced the Civil War, and like I watched my generation gear up for the Spanish-American War, and then we just had this Great War occur. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely absurd, and I've been alive through most of these things. I was like,
there's a timeline of the United States with 3 lifespans. Betty White is like the concurrent one, but like you can make the entire history of the United States have 3 very long-lived people. That's Avogadro wild. Being the first one.
That's wild. Yeah, time is absurd. But he pulls out this insanely old vintage whiskey and proceeds to pour it out. You know, canning with this. You know, this whiskey looks like a little like can in his hand. It's just a massive bottle and just pours it out for you. Doesn't spill a drop. Very careful.
Well, I think you can.
The bottle that was in, like, can you like the thickness of that glass and like, too fun. Right.
And then once he gets everyone settled, he gets Wendy some tea, and the whole time this is happening, Madam just sits there and like watches all of you very intently, right? Not in a weird way, like not in the same way Canning was just like staring at you, but he's like, just seems very pleasantly happy that you are all here and he can do this thing for you, right? And as he's pouring this whiskey and you're tasting it, he's watching your reactions and seems to like smile as you smile, you know, and seems very glad that you've enjoyed these things he's able to give you. Canning then puts the bottle away and goes and stands behind and slightly to the right of Madam, right? And just like has his arms crossed in a very like bodyguard looking stance. And Madam says, oh, Canning, it's fine. We're all friends here. And Canning's shoulders just lower slightly. And Madam says, picks up a glass of his own whiskey. First of all, I'd like to toast to all of you to a job well done. I want to talk about some of the exploits that I've heard from reports I've gotten back over the past few weeks. Real quick thinking, dealing with the issues in Borneo, right? Managing to save all those people, incredible. I had incredible expectations for all of you, and you've yet to disappoint. And that means that you're up for what I feel even greater tasks.
Yay / fuck.
The reward for good work is more work, right, Joshua?
The reward for good work is the power to make your actions last. and imprint change. The reward for good work is winning, which is what we are doing.
It is an interesting phraseology you're using there, Mr. Medham. I would love to know just a little bit more about the man that we're working for. And of course, in the course of our briefings and surely the briefings that you've heard, we will be sharing more about ourselves. You're so excited when you talk about changing the world. It's almost magical, and you send out a certain magnetism when you say that. What changed that you dumped your old company and started Caduceus? You must have had some extraordinary experience in order to know about all of these. I mean, Tyrannish alone. I feel like we're owed at least that much.
I would like everyone in this room to roll psychology, please.
Mine just got slightly better. See how
They're so good. Mine also got slightly better.
Still not good.
I'm
fail.
also happy to roll a charm if need be. So.
That's not yours. God damn it, cat.
No, you don't need to roll charm. What'd you get?
I got an 8.
I couldn't actually see that. What was it?
That was a 12.
12? Oh, does that put you at an excellent success?
Psychology, it does not. I would need an 8 for a
Okay. Mark it.
thing. A great success.
Yeah. Definitely mark it.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure where an 8 puts me out of 46, but good. I haven't done the maths yet, so.
That's below 10%, so yeah.
It's below,
or not 10%, excuse me. It's below, yeah, below a fourth is what you're looking for, right?
Below a fifth.
Sorry, yeah, I haven't been able to punch all the numbers in yet, so.
So that would be like right at a fifth?
Because a fifth would be 9.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're under.
Math. Do your homework, kids. You don't want to lose it.
Excuse me.
Kelly?
Yep.
I'm a fail.
I fail, by the way. Yeah.
There is, Cecil, the slightest deviation in his mannerism as his eyes flicker back towards his office for a second. He says, the interesting thing about something like that is how time can change you and can enlighten people. I realized that while the world of business was one I could easily dominate and play well, it was not going to be the thing that let me leave a lasting impression in a way that mattered. I learned a lot about myself during that time, and I realized that what I was doing was not living up to the true potential of who I am.
Cecil's ears perk up and kind of looks at everybody else to see if he's noticed a very similar, like, turn of phrase that, like, the lad often uses or did use in front of us.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. it's interesting. I couldn't agree with you more. I've encountered somebody in my own life that unlocked my own potential. However, I have felt that it has led to distressing results. I do not want to be forgotten. Is that what you're saying? You don't want to be forgotten, sir?
The distress that you're feeling is the early symptoms of liberation. As you realize your true potential and how once you no longer play by society's rules and craft your own way, you can do much greater work. Hence, I built something from the ground up. Made it mine, and I think, well, no. I know the world will be better for it. It's an adjustment period.
Well, on Borneo, I'm still happy they're there. That's a start.
Of course. You saved countless lives. And more importantly, you stopped the inner night. Not to say that saving lives is not important at all, but just think of how much damage could have been done if the situation wasn't mitigated to any degree.
Indeed.
Tell me, what do you feel we should do next in our pursuit here? Oh yes, we have many teams working in Caduceus, but you're the only team who's encountered the Inner Night twice recently, in very rapid succession. You seem to be successful.
Where their communications are coming from, those strange glass sheets that they talk to us through. Do we have any way to track what the broadcast is? I mean, I understand a radio, I understand a telegraph. It's a similar wavelength, but can we detect it?
I believe that Shekels has been working on that exact thing for quite some time. Well, for some time. Ever since you brought back something from Bolivia. I would hope he'd be further by now, but I understand that he's dealing with technology beyond his means. But yes, in short, I think we will have an answer shortly as to where that is coming from, and that will be immediately addressed.
Wendy, it looked like you wanted to say something there. Are you good?
Please.
No. I'm merely admiring the room.
You have my full and undivided attention.
Oh shit. She's gonna say that like under her. That was not what she was intending. No one should ask me what we should do next. I don't know what we should do next. No, sir, I'm was merely hoping for input from the whole team about what they thought.
Quentin seems to have made some great headway. Extreme circumstances with respect to the portal. Could we perhaps further research there?
Thank you.
He looks over at Quentin, who's, kind of letting you all take what seems to be honest to God, just good Q&A, right? And he says, well, sir, what we managed to find is that with the internet seems to be aggressively pursuing portal technology, and it seems to have come up. I don't know what they're looking for exactly, but it's going to be dangerous, right? And I think if we can get ahead of this by looking for those types of energy signatures, then that would be our next move there, trying to build some type of technology that could detect that before it really starts to become a problem.
We do know that while interacting with one of the devices, an old friend, he kind of like winks at Oliver, named Rose, answered the electric telephone, as it were. And she did offer us a position, should we choose to align with her, and I'm assuming the Inner Knight that she represents. But there is something that the doctor, I believe, noticed on the device, somewhere around where the UK would be. But I think he has some notes on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite Pangea we were looking at. You noted that, and I think I noticed that
No,
as well.
but it might have been in what today Dogger, the modern day Netherlands and Britain.
Oh,
C now.
Rose.
some kind of point emanating from there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you've had a long journey. I would hate to tie up more of your time, so please rest, recover, and we'll talk again shortly.
There's also the matter of the Citadel, aye?
And he proceeds to just stand up and like walk back into his office
Yeah,
and close
okay.
the door.
I was like, that seemed like a weird, like, abrupt change, right?
Mhm.
And then, yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
Canning just looks at all of you and just points an insane like Frankfurter finger at the elevator.
Cecil stands up, politely bows, and takes his whiskey with him.
So,
I'm also taking. Well, I'll actually slam
Wendy's
it.
gonna take the little teacup
Put the
then.
glass on the table.
Adorable. If Cecil's taking one, I guess this is how they do this here. It's really cute. There's like a little chrysanthemum on it. We're taking it with me. Sir, do we need the key? Like Wendy's gonna make like key turning motion to Canning? Like
once you also head to the elevator, he follows you, puts the key in, and takes you back down. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. So he takes you back to the R&D floor, and the elevator dings. He lets you out, and then you just the scowl as he looks at all of you, and then just what do you do?
I go home.
Hell yeah. One of the things that I need to make a roll for a thing. Hold on, because okay, there it is. Yeah. So Shekels is working on stuff. Quentin's like, that was incredibly abrupt. Well, man, maybe he's got more on his mind. Regardless, I'll talk with Shekels about making something new portals, and we'll see if we can make some progress there.
wait, we want to open portals?
I'd like to find someone that can detect them, at least the activity before they're really starting to build up, and I think we can make something like that.
We're not open.
No, God, no. We want to do the exact opposite. Keep those things closed, and maybe that'll make the boss a little happier. But regardless, I'll get working on that. By all means, please, like, enjoy your time. We're back. Make sure you see your families and your friends. Right.
Careful with those glasses, Vlad.
Well, and he like takes them off because he put them on at one point during the meeting and puts them back in his pocket. Right.
Do you know what's back in his office? He seemed When I asked him about the origin, he did seem to look back there. Just for a second.
I try not to make assumptions on Mr. Medham. He is a brilliant man, but incredibly eccentric. And sometimes when he is just done with things and is ready to move on to the next thing, he will just go. And I think that's just a result of being someone who is just in charge of meetings and in charge of time. Like, he does things on his schedules and people adapt. So it seems a little off-putting at first, and I must admit, I thought, I even working with him this long, it still feels weird. Like I've done something wrong, but whatever the case, he decided he was done and on to the next thing, and that's where he went.
I suppose we should make sure that we're not being followed, as we did have that meeting, and as I think Wendy and Ash, I'm sorry, Murphy, sorry, pointed out there are a number of thugs trailing us at one point, unbeknownst to us. So be careful out there.
Benongst. Like that one, yeah. But
I'll double
we
check
knew.
I'll double check with Shambles as well. I know that was something we brought to Caduceus' attention before we left. I think they've doubled up security, so should be all right.
Good.
For us, they've doubled security.
Oh, like at our homes.
Administratively, you did tell Quentin before you left that you were being followed last time, and he said he would put people on that. So that is the result of that.
Okay. Like, will we know them when we see them? Then I just, I'd hate to accidentally drop the, like boiling rice water on somebody wasn't.
We'll do a quick meet and greet so you know who's with you. So, and he actually does. He takes you down to the security floor with Frank DeLuca. And Frank's like, "Hey, what's going on, guys? I got the new team." He gets you like situated with like, here's your security team. Is going to be working in pairs of two. Keep an eye on your house. They've been keeping an eye on your stuff while you were gone as well. So, Murph, not a problem, but you got a lot of really just beefy dudes just loitering around your house. Your mom seemed cool with it. She was just feeding them constantly. So, just a heads up. I don't know. I assume friends, but
yeah, those are my boys.
Okay,
it's fine.
Yeah, they seem really friendly too, but I just wanted to, put it out there.
Thank you.
Outside of that, I didn't see any other issues.
Great.
So, I hope you all have a great
your
night.
hard work.
Yeah, of course. Here, look, Caduceus. If everyone, we're only strong as our weakest link, right? So if everyone's doing their best, like, will be great. But yeah, I'll get you situated. I get these guys take you home and make sure you're settled. You enjoy your time back here. Hopefully all the craziness is done with. I need everyone to roll dodge.
Really?
Of course.
I rolled a die roll earlier, and something is about to happen.
Oh boy.
Need to get to that.
I swear I'm not making this up.
What'd you roll?
What?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
One?
Is that a 1?
For my D100.
Yeah, it's a 1, right? Is that what it is?
That's 1.
Yeah. Cool.
Impossible.
I failed.
Of all the times to roll.
Mine is a great success.
Okay.
Mine was good. Regular, you might even say.
All right. Anybody that failed? Make sure I get this right. So here's what happens. So Frank is basically introducing you to all the security people. He's walking you back out the lobby to the cars and just like, yeah, have a great night kind of deal. What you said you failed? Okay. You take 8 points of damage. I'll break down what this is.
Fuck.
Oliver
Okay.
takes no damage because the best success possible, right? And between Cecil and Murphy, who both got regular successes, right?
And a great success.
Okay. In that case, Cecil, God damn it. 8, 4, 2. Yeah. So Cecil, you take 4. Kelly, you take 2. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Math is hard.
Do your homework, kids.
Where's that thing? I have to pay for a reason. Okay. The portion of the lobby that you're walking on, part of the wall and like the underground area, just explodes. In a surge of absurd magical energy. Frank, the security guards, parts of the foundation, the front desk, like the front walls with the window, like the lovely windows in the front, they shatter. Things explode and are just thrown upwards in like just an insane cloud of debris, right? And you can hear through the like the ringing and the tinnitus and like the shifting and the falling, and everyone starts coughing from all the dust and the smoke. The security guards are like grabbing for you guys, trying to grab you and like pulling out guns and looking around.
Picturing Oliver having like a little bullet time thing as stuff just sort of...
Oliver.
Huh.
Absurd. I do think you have a moment of just like weirdness as you are just in the right spot for everything to just fly past you or like hit decorative things in the atrium, or just you're just lucky, you know. A little bit of like debris and dust kind of gets in your hair, but so everyone else can roll. Oliver, you can roll at advantage. Everyone else is at disadvantage. As you hear someone yelling in the call from below, where part of the basement is now exposed, right? Which, fun fact, is not on the elevator numbers.
This is what kind of roll?
You
can roll in the call at disadvantage because everyone else is just blown up, so it's kind of hard to hear shit.
But
that's a 94.
Okay. So then, Will, you can roll at advantage because you, goddamn.
Fail. I mean, if it had been at advantage, I would have gotten it, but it was disadvantage, so no.
What'd you get? No. You all recognize the tone of the voice. What is being said? No idea. Cecil, I think you recognize it first, just because of the time spent. It's Tyrannish.
Right? Oh no!
Starts yelling something in the call, right? As the dust and debris start to clear, you hear a series of more small explosions. You hear yelling. You see commotion because you can look through parts of the floor and see down in this like sub basement of like people running. You see someone turns a corner, and then just like blood is thrown against the wall. You hear firearms start to go off downstairs, and you feel a surge of magical energy. What do you do?
Can we safely drop down there to like... Does she sound like she's in distress?
Yes.
Cecil's going to drop down there.
Okay.
And look to everybody else.
Yeah, all right.
I guess.
Oliver just finishes his scotch. All right. Like fishes out a little bit of the dust.
A little like
yeah, a little debris junk.
I jump down and finish it on the way down, then like toss it.
Cool.
Guys walk away from explosions.
What you see unfolding in front of you as the dust kind of clears, right, is there are about 10 security guards that are in this hallway that are just either dead or badly injured, right? They have all sorts of guns that have been twisted and mangled. They have been thrown back from just sheer power, right? One of the people that you saw run around the corner just was blown backwards into the wall so hard they just kind of exploded. You can still hear at the end of the hall Tyrannish yelling, which sounds like incantations and more magic surging, right? As more security guards are coming from the other direction towards you. If you're picturing like an L-shaped hallway, you're in the center, they're coming this way, she's back down this way as you jump around. You hear the security guards yelling, "She's gone nuts! Put her down!"
Oh no.
What do?
I mean, Wendy's gonna kind of like look around for like a half second of, we're not gonna let them do this, right? Like to the rest of, and take the fire bracer and kind of not at the guards, but like along the ground between them and her and us, so we can set up some like a nice little firewall.
Okay. I don't think you have to roll for that one. Just burn the MP, right? Cause you're in a small enough hallway. You know, you're like the size of the hallway is about what you would picture for a surface hall. So you have like room to move large boxes and stuff like that. But fire definitely just stops all of that. And you hear him just go, "Wait, what the hell are you doing? Like, wrong way, that way, that way." As you're just lighting this whole thing up. We'll go in kind of initiative order at this point, since Wendy is fastest and therefore first. So we have Cecil and Murphy. Just fire erupts, kind of starting to put smoke out in this hallway, kind of making everything hazy and weird again. But the guards stop as they're kind of like repulsed by the heat. What do you do?
Who's next? Me?
Cecil or Murphy. You both have the same initiative. I think technically Murphy's faster, but
I would say he's probably faster than I am.
Probably. I don't know. I try to get closer to see what's going on. Do I see what's happening? Like,
as you cut around the corner, away from the guards, down this little like L hallway, you can see at the end there's like another 5 or 6 like just dead security guards that have been just like thrown around this hallway, and at the very, very end you see Tyrannish, who's looking like hurt, like has multiple what looks like gunshot wounds and other things, right? But she's still very much on her feet and has reached a back wall dead end, and has proceeded to just slam a hand against the back wall, and is now shimmering with magic, as if she's opening some type of gate or portal to escape, and looks at you.
No.
As you come around the corner, like with a hand raised.
Whoa. Hey. Cecil.
And I think Cecil, you're like a half second behind, and you see this. Like there's magic gathered in her hand that she's about to like release as she looks at the two of you and is just waiting to see what happens next.
I imagine we may have like collectively, or at least like in the time that Cecil has spent with Tyrannish, learned like a polite greeting. I think that's the most important thing that he would want to learn. And so just does like whatever hand signal and like maybe half mangles the greeting to like greetings, like kind one or something like that. and it then goes like this and mimics Murphy. So
Okay.
I can roll charm if you want.
You're good. Oliver, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess I'll as well sort of just see that they're stopped and stop and maybe gesture to the security people like, hang a second. We got this. The A team is here.
We're the main characters. Fuck off. Sorry. Relevant to a conversation Will and I had.
Yes. Any red shirts who would like to not die, please.
Cecil, go ahead and roll that charm, actually.
Okay. That is a great success.
Okay.
But not the
Woo!
In this moment, what exactly do you want? What is Cecil looking for? All right. There's a couple options I'm going to throw out there, but I want to see what you're trying to actually maneuver towards.
Of course. Cecil is trying to get her to stop and
explain yourself.
And explain what's going on. Explain yourself. So yeah, he's just trying to get her to stop, know that we're not a threat, and explain that we're here to help.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, elaborate, and listen.
That's good. That's good shit. So she's got, like I said, one hand on the wall, which is now just like a shimmering open portal. Other hand kind of extended towards you with like that energy still gathered there. And she says, "We have been lied to, and I am leaving. If you wish to come with, it is now or never."
Cecil looks apologetically at everybody and just starts walking toward her.
What of the rest of you?
I want to know how portals work. He seems to be able to.
Yeah, can we see this? Like Cecil,
yeah.
or not, Oliver and I can see this?
You can hear like the security guards like on the other side, like fire extinguishers and like yelling, and they're clamoring over this area. So you know they're like right behind you.
If we go, we've all got to go. Keep the story straight.
Like Wendy's gonna like brace herself and then just run towards the yeah, I guess we're going.
Let's go.
Murphy?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. You guess.
I can't be the only one standing in that hallway when this is over, so
Yeah.
I literally don't want to. I was so close to seeing my ma, and now this shit.
I just want to go home, god damn it.
Just want a good meal.
So okay. You all run towards the wall. She lowers her hand and you just run one by one through this portal. And lastly, we see Tyrannish just hurl the rest of the energy down the hallway, kind of collapsing part of the ceiling before the rest of the security guards get there, and just steps, almost like staggered and wounded, back through the portal with you as well. And it closes. We'll end the session there.
Oh my god.
Where are we?
So,
Great.
in Flatland.
Clearly.
So, yeah, that was good. That was a choice. I love it. We're making choices now.
We're making strong choices.
You are. You're making aggressively good choices. But yeah, no, that was a good session. So, I'm sorry you didn't make it home to a home cooked meal.
I know. God, Wendy's been like dreaming about cabbage roll. Yeah.
Guarantee you will have a chance to spend more time with your families. We're not done with New York just yet. But we're going down some other complicated things that are happening in the background. So, but yeah, we'll have some time to catch up with people before the next abroad mission, for sure. But now that you're thinking of portals, it might be a little easier to get around.
Like the weird love triangle forming between Rose and Tyrannish.
Yeah, so it's all good. Anybody have any crazy theories they want to just throw out there for the audience while they're thinking about it?
I feel like I just did, but yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah, did we do bad? Did we tell on Tyrannish, basically? No. You're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this weird thing going up in the Netherlands. Oh no, could be a thing. We talked to Rose.
Mentioning the Citadel, yeah.
And Madam is just like, got to get up, destroy Tyrannish.
Excuse me real quick. You'll have a great night. I'm gonna go kill somebody. So, anyway, I mean, strong reactions, that's for sure.
Strong reactions, yeah.
But I will say that not everything hinges directly on like one line, so it's not just like I did an oopsie and blew up the building, so it's not that cruel. Okay. So, but information is important. So hell yeah. Thank you for playing, and for everybody that tuned in. Thank you for watching and hopefully having a good time. We'll be back on the 24th.
That's a conspiracy.
Yeah, you got a little time to think about like what's going on, where you've ended up, kind of life choices you've made, and what that all means. But
what does it mean?
I love it because you've taken a hard left turn from the original way I ran this, and now I'm excited because I'm in new territory too, and that's great.
Great.
But does anybody else have anything they want to throw out there?
So somebody's got some hooks in Medum. That much is obvious, but who? I'm not sure yet. My money's on actually the Inner Knight. Like it's a Hydra inside a shield thing.
Okay.
But that's just based on his reaction to.
Sorry, like his reaction to what? You cut out briefly.
Just my reaction to like the Nate when his reaction to Rose and like the whole darkness inside us all thing.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. I like that.
Maybe because of the weird similarity in the language that the lad from the Dreamlands was trying to tempt us all. It was like, oh yeah, like just reach your full potential. And then like Madame's like, I just want everybody to reach their full potential. I'm like, never answered my question too.
What a jerk.
I just want you to. I love you guys. I will give you kisses. You're wonderful. Have some brandy and everything. And gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what about this? Excuse me for a second.
What happened to giving us the world for your heroes?
Love it. Anything from Murphy? No.
No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty. It's all good. There'll be a lot of stuff to punch, I think, next session if we're doing this right. But
oh god. Okay.
That's fun.
Are we?
So Streets of Rage. Yeah. Be exciting. But does anybody have any admin announcements before we call it? Cool. Well, thank you all again for watching. Remember, it's all for Extra Life. Did I do my thing? I don't know if I did actually. I will put money into the thing like I'm supposed to because I didn't do that yet. I just have it on pending and not sent. So we'll do that, and we'll be back on the 24th to see how this all plays out. So thanks for watching. Have a great night.